stream is now going live.
It crashed. Cool. I love Sony Vegas.
Told you, man. Premiere's where it's at.
Yeah. Well, I already paid $300 for Sony Vegas, so no way I'm going back, man. $300. That's how many pizzas? Quite a few.
Yeah, it's a
That's
good
at
amount of
least-
pizzas.
That's at least 10 extra large pizzas.
It is. That's a lot of pizza.
Pizzas. Yeah, definitely. Good evening, Sefton. Hello, Logan. How's it going, boys? Are we doing guess the rank? Am I
Yeah.
am I
So,
speed Dota gaminging?
yeah. So I
Pulling
think
speed?
what I'll do is I will stop sharing my screen in between. Although, wait, people are actually saying what their rank is in there, aren't they?
They are
Most of the time.
indeed. So is there a way that you can navigate on Discord? And okay, maybe what you can do is we've got a lot of replays this week. I'll send them all to you, but in no particular order.
Yeah, you're not going to remember what rank they are if you just cut and paste a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, no. The great thing about this is that I'm a moron, so I legitimately won't remember. If I was a smarter person, this actually wouldn't work. This is one of those situations where
Pays to be dumb.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I just was thinking of a name to remember what to copy and paste next, and I clicked to the other screen. I already forgot it. Like that's how dumb my brain is. Hey, Umbranox. Let's see, because I'm kind of trying to mess them up a little bit. Oh my god, too many characters.
What the fuck? I don't know what you're playing.
Slick mullet and wink.
By the way, did you get tickets to ESL? Because you should.
Nope. Can't afford that, man.
What are you talking about? Of course you can.
I can't. The flights. How am I supposed to pay for the flights? I haven't made it money.
What are the flights? Like $400?
Something like that. All right. That's all the replays. There's a lot of replays this week.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well,
so
we'll power through them.
Let's get into them. Let's pound them out.
Writing them all down at the moment.
Okay, cool. Wall-Z Killer, what up? Naga Assassin, how's it going? Thanks for ruining a lot of my games there, buddy. You're either on the enemy team and I'm Pugna and I'm feeding you, or you're on my team and you're feeding and useless.
Yeah, it seems like pretty much how it always is, right? Naga Assassin is one of those heroes that can be very good in theory, but if you mess up like one or two ganks, you basically lose the game for your team.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I kind of love that about Dota. Like, basically every hero can be viable regardless of the meta if you play it to its utmost potential in the right game. But sometimes there's that razor's edge of you have to execute this perfectly, otherwise you lose the game for your team.
What up, Oliver? So just like Bounty Hunter? I think Bounty Hunter is one of the most extreme cases of that in Dota, I think.
I think he's a little bit more forgiving these days, but he's definitely up there.
Well, yeah, maybe in pubs, like especially the lower rated you go, because people are gonna die and just make mistakes, and Bounty Hunter can take a couple mistakes and turn it into massive gold lead,
like 3 or 4 items.
Yeah. Oh god, man, you die a couple of team fights in a row to a BH, and he's just out of control in the next fight. You know, I was coaching Avocado. I think he goes by a different name. I never remember though. So I just call him Avocado. That coaching session's on Patreon. But we were looking in his game. He was playing Kuka, and he was absolutely dumpstering mid, just completely obliterating. One of those games where like he has 6K net worth, the next guy in line is like the enemy free farming carry who has 4K net worth.
Mm-hmm.
One of those like insane, ridiculous games. And the BH kills supports in a couple of fights and then kills him in a couple of fights. And it's like over a 5-minute window, the BH who's position 4 went from like bottom 3 net worth to literally number 1
Yeah.
and was legitimately a core. And it's like, man, you actually just lose because they have 3 cores plus the highest farmed hero in the game, which wasn't a core, but now is a core. You know, it's not a hero you can feed. It's not very forgiving to lose team fights to a bounty hunter.
Yeah, I agree.
Very unforgiving.
All right. Oh my god, there are so many replays today. What on
yeah.
earth?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Good problem to have, though. We have very active patrons.
Yeah.
Patrons.
We lost one today because I pinged everybody on the server.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm going to ESL LA. And if there's enough people who also have tickets from the server, I might do a meetup so we can all just, socialize a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then he's like, oh, your pings are so annoying. I'm unsubscribing from Patreon and leaving the Discord server. And I was like, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was it? Call him out.
I don't remember. It was some short name.
What the heck? No way. I don't see any of our boys doing that. That's weird. That's weird, man.
It was weird. That's why I didn't know how to respond. I was just like, okay, see you later. Like, it's a very bizarre reaction to have.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess it's not good to dox. I'm curious who that is, though.
I don't use the add everyone very often. Like,
I do it like once a month.
Yeah, I probably do it like maybe 3-4 times a month, but considering that you're in our server, it's like sometimes we have announcements. It's just how it
goes. Yeah.
I don't have like daily announcements of going live for morning stream, going live for afternoon stream, going live for evening stream, which I get in several of my other servers that I'm in. And that stuff is definitely annoying.
If there's any chance to move up the stack, guys, I would hugely appreciate. It's like 2:30 a.m. here. Haha. The stack? What are you on about, ludicrous? What are you on about?
I think there's one of these. Somebody was like, "Hey, I was playing in a stack, so if you guys have any tips for our whole team."
Oh, I see. Okay.
I feel like
the stack one. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
I
Okay,
feel like
gotcha.
That one was pretty early on, but I can't remember at this point. It might have.
Oh, Ludicrous 57 is what he posted it under. Of course. What up, KVK? Red Shirt Mike. Hello, sir.
Ludicrous 57.
Zen. Is that how to pronounce it? Zen or Zen?
Let's just start with that one then. Fuck it, right?
Ludicrous? Yeah, sure. I don't remember what rating Ludicrous is. I'm positive we've seen about a dozen of his replays, but I don't remember. Because, I actually don't even remember what my rating is.
Yeah.
And I'm addicted to MMR.
I don't either. I haven't played in 2 days, and I've already forgotten everything I know about Dota.
Let me check. I'm 7,400. That's what I am.
Congratulations.
Cool. I thought I was 7,300. Now I'm excited. This is good.
You're literally a top, 1,000 player in the entire world, probably.
I don't know. Who knows?
Probably, right?
I saw, dude. Oh, cool. Oh, you put the things in the link or the links in the description. That's really good.
Yeah, with timestamps so people can just go to them.
Thanks for doing that, buddy. That's pain in the ass. So this is okay. Ludicrous. You're not screen sharing because I'm guessing the rank. Shout out to Speed Dota. Let's do it. I didn't elaborate on this in the last Alchemy Answers because you know how we are with tangents. But the reason why I actually want to do the kind of not knowing the rank of people is because I think that like unbiased advice is really good for giving people what they actually need to work on. Like if I know it's a divine game, then I'm going to assume certain things about somebody that might not necessarily be true.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I think it's really cool to like not know the rank. Now, obviously, there's certain people like Hawkillionaire. We've done so many Hawkillionaire replays. I've coached him numerous times. He's been a friend for so many months now. It's like I know what his rating is,
Right.
but with a lot of these, like I have a general kind of idea, but like it'll click to me maybe eventually. But I don't think, at least for this episode, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I don't think I'm gonna remember anybody's rank.
Yeah. And if you are being reviewed, definitely don't type what rank you are in chat because Jenkins is gonna guess. That's part of the fun. So don't spoil our content, or we'll never do another replay of yours again. How about that?
This is gonna be cool because I'm gonna legitimately like if somebody's Herald and they're doing good stuff, I can't just shit on them because they're Herald. Like if they're actually doing good stuff, I have no way of I have no way of knowing that they're bad and just to cover my own ass. Like I can't just be like, oh yeah, this guy's doing bad stuff because I know he's Herald. It's like if he's doing bad stuff and I say that it's good and they're Herald, it's like that just makes me an idiot, Like I can't hide behind the rank that we know now.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. All right, so here's the backstory. It's been a while since I posted a replay, and I've climbed, not going to tell you from where to where, but about 1,000 MMR he's gained. Now I think I've hit a plateau where I went down about 200 MMR, then gained it back. I've been flexing between off lane and safe lane as my favorite positions. This game looked like we were going to win after what I thought was a good laning stage, but then I whiffed some Chronospheres to catch Tinker. We were a 5-stack, so I appreciate any team advice as well as roasting my game.
Oh, okay. I have a request, by the way, Donnie.
Sure.
Don't tell me who the people are that we're reviewing, actually. I think that's another good addition because then I actually won't be able to know.
Oh, the names?
Yeah, don't tell me the names.
Okay, yeah, that's fine actually, because I'll just be going out of the description at this point, which only has the numbers. So
because I don't know what Ludacris's rank is,
but you might for
I might
somebody
next
else.
week. But if I don't know that it's him, then I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna know. Okay,
right.
Cool.
So
sweet.
It'll still screw you with Hawkillionaire because he just has his name as Hawkillionaire in the game. So
change your names, boys. Change your names. This is how we're gonna have fun with it. Okay, I like the starting items. I think these are good starting items. Same for a Quelling Blade.
Oh, sorry. Just to finish that up, he says, general tips on how to play Void better, as I definitely made some item usage errors. And then how can we effectively make predictions about the enemy positions without ward vision? So let's look a little bit at the laning stage, but then kind of go into the mid game.
Sure.
All right.
I do like these items, though. Just massing regen, saving for a QB. I think this is fine. I do see carries going for like 6 tangos and then 2 branches. I've seen that, and then just going for the QB.
Yeah, I think kind of depends on the lane.
Yeah, probably depends, but it's like more stats. If you can be greedy, you can like eventually build it into just a full wand,
right?
And not waste the branches. I don't know. That's just a trending thing that I'm seeing right now. It's not going to be significantly better than this by any means. Playing against I'm gonna guess this is like not. I mean, obviously not immortal because this lion did not stun to get the range creep. That's a pretty low skill support thing to do. Kiting the creeps in front of the tower. This is good out of the tower range.
Yeah, I will say though that you did split the wave immediately, which is good because you want to be able to just farm the first couple of waves very freely. But then you didn't deny the range creep, and you didn't get your range creep, so it's a net bad trade for you.
Yeah, you wanna try to like at least get the deny if they're gonna get the deny.
Right.
As a melee hero, you can only really actually pause for a second here. So whenever I'm playing a melee hero, this is like if you're an offlaner, if you're a safe laner, this is incredibly important. If you're playing a melee hero that you know can't secure range creep CS, you need to tell your support to do that because people aren't going to naturally be comfortable doing that because a lot of people are just like, well, I'm a support. I shouldn't be stealing my chorus last hits. But the creep waves are going to be split. So you're only going to be able to either go for the deny as a melee hero or go for the last hit. And if you go for the last hit, you're going to eat shit on damage. So you need to tell your lion, hey man, you're on range creep duty. Get every range creep that you can. So he does that. Like there's no way that you should get denied and then not get their deny as well.
Right.
That's really bad.
Yep.
And that's on the core. That is on the core to tell the support that, because supports will not be comfortable with it. I always tell my supports, if they're a Rubik, I say, hey man, if we miss, if a range creep gets denied, that's your fault. That's not my fault because I'm melee. That's your fault.
Yep.
So
yeah, essentially we're at a point in the laning stage where it's more important for you guys to collectively get experience versus the other team collectively getting experience than for the carry to get perfect CS in a lane.
It's not perfect. CS is impossible these days.
Yep.
It's not happening. The way you get perfect CS is by getting an XP lead and just using your advantage to bully them out of lane.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, Ludacris says that he's this is usually his position 5. So yeah, that's something you guys can work on together. That's a complete game changer for laning.
Yep.
So now the creep wave is pushing. It needs to get pulled back as soon as possible. Especially at this point, now it's very easy to do that pull.
Yep. I like the early stick against the Legion Sky. Like, extremely important to have that.
Especially on Void. You just dodge all this damage, get free stick charges.
Yep. Line gets picked off.
Whatever.
Yep, doesn't matter. You get a full wave of creeps for free because of that.
Laning looks pretty decent other than the range creep thing on
Agreed.
the first wave.
Yeah, I think
pulling into tower when there's a triple range creep in order to make it easier for you. Like whenever you have triple range creep against you, you don't want to let the enemy team just completely double wave you.
All right, that was a potentially game losing mistake, or not game losing, but lane losing mistake right there. And
lane losing can often be game losing, though.
Right. So
just because it's such a snowbally game.
So far, you've been doing a very good job. Like, you're top CS in the game. You're against a very tough lane. You know, even though you have the ability to time walk off damage, there's such consistent damage coming out from them because they're both very good heroes against a melee hero in lane that you should cherish your regen. And the fact that you still have a salve left and a pretty decent stack of wand charges or stick charges is really, really valuable. And you do not want to give any of it up at any point if possible. So when you do this kind of move to overly aggressively try and get a deny, I don't care that you missed the deny. That's not important. The fact is now you don't have the ability to reverse damage for 16 seconds and you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation. So yes, you brought out another salve. Yes, you have some more regen, but you're basically just giving them a chance to make you use a bunch of your regen for no reason.
Yep. Good players, if they're playing against Void, they'll just use everything on him when he uses the leap. So you're basically giving them a free opportunity to do that there. Yeah, that's really, I mean, that's a throw. That's a straight up throw.
Yeah, you had a very good laning stage. You're in a lane that should lose. Lion is a shit support, and you are a hero that just wants to farm. So you actually are the losing lane for sure in this game. I mean, I'd say that all of your lanes, except for maybe mid, are losing lanes, but that's besides the point. You're supposed to lose this lane, and you were winning it very easily and by a lot, and now you're losing the lane. So,
yeah, I mean, if you look at the net worth, I'm sure the net worth went from Void being on the very top to
now he's
Legion
5th.
Yeah. So just a throw. That's all that was.
Yep.
Basically, just understand what your job is in the game. You're a hard carry. If you go late game, you will single-handedly win the game for your team because you're a Faceless Void. So if you're farming against a lane that's supposed to lose, you don't need to go above. This is one of those cases where you're trying to go above and beyond the call of duty in this game, you know?
Yep. All right. So bounty rune spawn, kind of late to go over there. Right now, 5 minutes into the replay, what do you think the MMR is? Or what metal would you say?
Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna say like low divine, high ancient.
Okay.
Are you gonna tell me?
No, I'll tell you at the end.
Well, just tell me now. I just made my guess. Okay, well, I guess we can watch something after the laning stage. I feel like a lot of lower rated players than that have a good understanding of the laning. Like a lot of people understand the laning stage, but don't know anything about the rest of the game.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely don't think that you should judge off the laning stage because I feel like last hitting and just like the first 5 minutes of the game, everybody knows what to do at this point, except for like maybe Herald players. So,
yeah,
I agree.
Just FYI, chat. He asked me at the end of the laning stage at 5 minutes. I don't have enough information. Apparently, I'm wrong. About it, according to Ludacris. So, I don't know. He asked me at 5 minutes. That's all I'm saying. There's not enough information. That's
Yeah.
all I gotta say.
All right, so let's go into the mid game then. We'll go to about 30 minutes because this is a long ass game. And Void's about to die, so let's go back a little bit and see how Void is about to die.
Okay. So Mjolnir, Midas.
How do you feel about having
BKB.
a BKB not completed before 30 minutes in a game against a Skywrath Tinker?
Definitely pretty concerning unless you're very very confident that you just have so many items on your opponents that you can just kill them without a BKB and you're never going to die. It's very, very dangerous.
Yeah,
sometimes people do make that people do make that like educated decision though, where it's like, all right, I don't really need to show up. I don't really need to do anything in these fights other than like show up at the end and chrono. So this is fine. I can just.
Right. I will say though that if you are a carry player below Immortal, you should buy a BKB 1 or 2 items earlier than you think you need to. Just as a rule, every single game, if you do that, you will gain 1,000 MMR. I promise you. It's so like critical to playing carry, buying BKB at the right time, and showing up to the one fight that you need to turn the game around. That is how you win games as a carry that are hard. And this is a game where you guys are crushing. Like you're doing well.
They honestly can't kill you if you have BKB.
But exactly.
They can't kill you. You're immortal.
That's the thing.
You are immortal unless you get dueled and you don't press BKB when she duels you, but it has a cast time on it, so you should be able to should be able to get BKB. I mean, I see people going like treads 2 Wraith Bands, Maelstrom BKB, no Midas. That's what I see people going. And I think in this game, you probably want to win the game not by farming but by fighting. I mean, they have Tinker and they have Lifestealer, right? This Lifestealer hero just sits in a lane and he farms. This Tinker hero just farms jungle and farms side lanes. Like, you just want to fight them and pick them off at every opportunity and limit their map, which it looks like you're already doing.
Yeah.
Is this a loss, by the way? Or I'll close my eyes. You go back and check.
It is a loss. They lost.
Okay. Can I look again?
Yeah. It's reloading the map.
Oh, fuck.
But anyway, the point is like, that's just the biggest mistake I see carry players making, like below like high Immortal, is they just buy, they think that they can just get away without buying a BKB in like every game. And it's just not the case. It's never the case. I think that you should almost always just play slightly more conservatively than you think you need to in terms of itemization. Like, get more stats than you think, buy more region than you think, buy slightly more defensive items than you think. And if you do those 3 things, you're just never going to fucking die. And you're going to have such a good KDA that you never feel like you have to like farm your jungle. You're going to be able to farm aggressively. You're going to be able to play the game correctly.
If you never die, you're going to have levels. If you have levels, you don't need items to kill people.
Yes.
You have levels. You have talents. You have skills. That's why people say in Dota, when you have an advantage, you build tanky items, you build hearts, you build BKBs, because if you have a level advantage on your opponents, you will already be able to take their HP to 0.
Yeah, I actually think that's probably the most misunderstood concept by core players that are below Immortal. It's literally that they think, I have a lead, I just need to get more damage so I can kill people faster, when in reality it's like, I have a lead, if they cannot kill me, they cannot come back into this game. And that's how you need to think about it. You don't need more damage. You will do more damage to them over the course of a fight because you'll live longer than they do because you're already ahead.
Yes.
It's like just a complete paradigm shift, and once you make that, you will legitimately gain 1,000 MMR, because the only reason that you're losing games when you're ahead like this is because they're killing you when you try to go high ground or try to take Roche. That's the only way you can lose.
The funny thing is they get more gold that way than if you were just playing an even game in the first place and they're out farming you. It's like they get more gold from killing you on a comeback. And stomp can turn into a reverse stomp really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, just take this Mjolnir down to a Maelstrom. You have so much damage to put in your Chronosphere. I'm okay with the Midas. I think you can go Midas.
It's fine, yeah.
But Midas Maelstrom are sort of redundant.
Because on Void, it's on it's an attack speed item, right?
Exactly.
So if you go Midas Maelstrom plus treads, you already have so much attack speed, and the way that attack speed works is like the more attack speed you get, like the shittier it is.
Yeah.
Like Pudge, for example, attack speed affects him the most. It gives you the most attacks on Pudge because he has the highest BAT, the slowest BAT in the game. So if you get 50% more, or if you get 100% attack speed, then it reduces his BAT by half. And since that's the largest amount, that means you're gaining the most. So the more and more attack speed you get, the shittier it is.
Yep.
That's why you want to scale your attack speed with damage. Like you want to go attack speed, damage item, attack speed, damage item, attack speed item, damage item. That's why people do that. That's why they don't just go 10 moon shards. Otherwise, moon shard would be the best item in Dota, and you just get 6 of them.
Yeah,
but it doesn't work like that.
And that's why a hero like Sven, who gets damage from his ultimate, doesn't go damage items. You don't see Sven going, like, he gets a Daedalus, but he gets a Daedalus after he gets Echo Saber and, like, S and Y, or, you know, something that boosts his attack speed first, because he already has the free damage coming in.
Okay, let's watch this. So
Okay.
Void is dead. Tinker's still alive. They have buyback on Legion. He's gonna be alive soon. I think when Legion respawns, you probably need to get out. You've no Void.
Yeah.
Force the enemy team back. This is fine. Take their triangle.
Kunkka's mega farmed with double Daedalus. Also no BKB.
Yeah, that's
Oh look, you're dead because you don't have a BKB.
You actually lost this game due to lack of BKB. That is actually all I've seen. Yo, all right, this.
All right, what's the MMR? We're ending this replay because that's really what it is. It's like you're playing mass magic damage and you're just fighting them without BKB. That's the problem.
I'm gonna guess Legend.
Okay, you ready to see?
Yeah, let's see.
He
Okay.
is Crusader.
That's
4.
close. I was thinking like low Legend. Oh, Crusader. Damn, that's not Archon. All right.
No.
Damn, I have a really bad grasp on like what skill level people have, I guess.
Well, this is why this is so fun, because we're gonna learn.
Listen, man. I play in pubs and I get divine players, and I think that it's literally like a dog or a cat playing on a keyboard, or like 3 kids in a trench coat pretending to be like an adult playing Dota. So I don't know. It's all good, man. I think I should be Legend. No.
Nope.
No. That's never true.
That's not how it works.
That's never how it works.
All right, stop sharing my screen. We're coming up to the next one.
Okay. All right, so I'm well, okay, here's what we're going to do. If I get it within like 500 MMR or something, we're calling that a
Good.
win. That's
Okay.
a W.
Sure.
So that was not
I
didn't
a win.
get that right. That was not right.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, for the very first time that I've ever guessed an MMR, that wasn't
terrible. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny that how it steadily went down as we saw the later and later decision making stuff, and that's kind of what we found from teaching Dota. It's like you have to master the first 15 minutes of the game, and that will get you like all the way to divine, and then beyond that, good decision making is really what carries.
The reason I said Legend is just because no BKBs. Like I feel like it's like below divine where people just are doing these pure like Legend and below is where you have literally 0 defensive items on any hero ever. No Force Staffs, no Glimmers. Supports go Atos, supports go Dagons. Lions are like rushing Aghanim Scepters. I bet if you go to that Lion's inventory in that last game, he has a fucking Ags. Legitimately. Like
Probably.
Everybody just goes for damage because it's fun.
Yep.
Which is fine, but I mean, it's not game winning. You're not going to win.
Yeah. It's actually way more fun to not die in games, is what I've found. And once you realize that being able to laugh at people when they try and kill you, and then just kill them in response because you're tankier than them, is way more fun than just insta-killing people and feeding afterwards, which is what most people do.
It's a different kind of fun. It's a sadistic kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good.
It's more of like the evil genius kind of fun where you get to like torture people. You're like the raid boss at the end of a game who just laughs at you when they hit you with their puny sword, and you're like, what was that? Smack. Dead.
Thriller said he had a Glimmer, by the way. Okay, Thriller, did you have a Glimmer and were you building into an Eggs? That's my question. If you had a Glimmer and you're building into a Force, then kudos. I also think that like 5-stack Dota is very different from like pure pub Dota, where you'll see people doing more intelligent things because they're together and they trust each other and they're talking about things, stuff like that.
Agreed.
It's like, oh, we like a core will say, we need a glimmer in this game, guys. So like a support gets it, or the support trusts their core.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
All
All right,
right.
let's.
So, did I share?
No, not yet.
Okay. So we are a Naga Siren in this game, and he just says, "Tear me apart as brutal as possible." Am playing Naga, so that's not a whole lot of context. So we're just gonna look a little bit at the lane and then look at itemization because that's probably the best way to tell.
Okay. Not an easy lane for a Naga.
No.
First thing that I would say is, when are you picking this hero? Because I really think that it's best in situations where you know that you have like a free game, and this game doesn't look free. You're against a Pugna, you're against a Legion who can clear illusions. You're against an Axe in lane, you're against a Lina in lane. Both of these heroes can just easily deal with your illusions. Like, you need to be a dank ass Naga player to win, and even like Sumail, doesn't pick this hero unless it's like a free game, like you're against a Night Stalker or something. So that's my first criticism, is I think this Naga pick is either too early or you picked it into counters, and it's just not one of those heroes. Like, there's better heroes for doing this. Pick like a Gyro, pick like a CK or a Void.
Right. Yeah. This is one of those heroes that's a free win if you pick it into a good game, and it's a free loss if you pick it into counters.
Yeah, definitely. These heroes can clear illusions really easily.
Yeah. And you're against potentially the only other hero besides maybe Void that can contest you in the late game, which is Spectre, and just man fight you.
It's stupid that Void can contest any hero in the late game. It's so stupid. I'm gonna disable you for 10 seconds straight. Ever since they made his bash just do his normal attack but a second time, that's when Void became just wild, man.
Yeah.
Like a wild carry. Your bash scales. It scales, man.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about it.
Crazy.
It's not just like a static 70 damage that's really good in the lane and then not very good after.
Other bashes don't scale. It's like you can, dude. I've been 5 bashed in lane. I did the math on it. It's just like, it's like shuffling a goddamn deck of cards and getting the same order twice, which is like 1 in greater than the number of particles in the fucking universe. It's ridiculous. This Void hero, man. This guy's just breaking the laws of physics. All right, anyway, let's watch this. So you bought the Quelling Blade from the side shop. Got your 2 branches and your tangos, which is a very typical carry build everybody's doing.
Yep.
You're building into your little stat items. Probably going to get your support to bring them. Maybe not. All right.
Nope.
You just lost a badge for me. That's down at least. You started at Divine, and now you've lost a badge.
Down to
just
Ancient.
because. Yeah, just because like you really need to get those items delivered. You're sitting on 1,000 gold in your inventory, in your stash right now.
Yep.
And that's not great.
Right. So if we actually go over to the net worth, right now you
have 899 net worth. Your net worth is almost less than your Crystal Maiden.
Right. That's not good.
Yeah, it's really rough. I mean, you could have like 1,000 something HP right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the lane is just staticking in front of the tower. So why, like, I don't know why this is happening.
They're doing you a favor and just shoving the lane into your tower over and over.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, if you do this on Axe, like, you want to cut the wave, and yeah.
They dive
so
you.
Lina suicides, dives, and all right, X. You go to jungle. This seems fine. This hero's so stupid, man. I hate Naga.
When should you start splitting your illusions to farm multiple camps? At level 5 or later?
No, I don't think so. I think you can like farm 1 camp with illusions and 1 with your main hero. Like, you can split into like 2 camps maybe right now, but no, you can just use them to farm. Like, as you can see, like, the illusions despawn before you finish the camp.
Right.
At this point, yeah, like this is kind of fine.
Cool.
Lina follows you.
Run away.
Go to the triangle. Give your CM the lane. This is fine. This is pretty typical Naga stuff, I think. Taking the stack, not bad. I mean, that's a pretty high skill thing, I think.
Where would you go from here if you were playing this hero? Or where would some good Naga player, would they farm deeper into the jungle, or would they come back to the triangle knowing it's respawning in 5 seconds? What would you say?
It depends. I mean, it depends on the player. It depends on how strong you think you're. I think if you go for song, you can farm deeper into the enemy jungle.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if I would skip song because of that. I think that this is a very I'm just gonna farm this is like a defeatist build almost. It's like I'm gonna farm my side of the map and not really pressure as much as I can.
Hmm. You mean
Like
the
you
build
could,
that he has right now?
yeah, like you could be like cutting waves. Like look at this, you're dead because you don't have song. Okay, you're alive, but you're walking back to base. You're kind of like playing in a situation where you're pressuring, but you don't have song to just get yourself out. Like you could go to their tier 3 right now and cut waves and just cause so much pressure top.
Yeah,
Um,
you're not maximizing your hero at all by playing in such a passive way with a hero that really can be extremely annoying. And against their team, that's really important because they can definitely like if you can buy your team like 20 minutes, if
well,
you
you have a 3K gold deficit. Like you straight up cannot play greedy now. Like they
yeah,
have nullified your ability to play greedy
right.
by taking a lead. Like you need to do stuff to like force them to come back and to waste time. I mean that creep cutting is good. That was high skill stuff. That was pretty nice. Farm the camp, farming in front of the Spectre. I mean, all of this is really good. It's just I'm really worried about like if they get like a blink on axe, he just blinks you, you're just dead there, you know?
Right. And most of that's because you don't have song to reset and escape.
But I mean this is generally quite good. What was the like request to look at in this?
He just said tear me apart. So
Tear them apart.
we haven't
Okay.
been doing that at all. But
Uh I mean it doesn't look that bad so far. You've been farming. I think not leveling song means that you can do a lot less cool shit.
they're kind of just letting you win the game right now.
This is fun. This is a loss, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So, I mean, at some point, we'll see some really bad stuff. I mean, this is good. You're playing in the off lane. This is kind of what Naga wants to do. You just play in a jungle. You shove out a lane constantly. I do believe it's getting to the point where you can start sending illusions mid. Like, I think you can. I think. All right, let's see. Let's see.
This death is super avoidable. You are so far out of position right now with every single one of your teammates showing mid. This is like
So this is just like you need a smoke. You need a ward on the high ground. You need an illusion on the high ground, or you need to not be playing here.
yeah,
This is an offlaner problem that a lot of offlaners have because this is what you're supposed to do on a lot of offlaners where you pressure this lane, but you can't do it without. The rule is you can't do it without vision. You can't do it without a hero standing up there. You need to see that high ground there. You just get killed. Otherwise, you don't go past that point. And the thing is, your hero has no reason to go past that point. You just play with illusions.
right, exactly.
And the thing is, if you defusal a Spectre and put all of your illusions on a Spectre,
people are coming.
you don't need to run your hero in. You've already done the job. If he dies, he dies. If he doesn't die, it doesn't matter. Either way, he's going back to Fountain and spending 20, 30 seconds doing nothing. You're already pressuring. You're already causing rotations to happen. You're just committing for the kill, which is really greedy.
Yeah,
And I don't think you need to do that, especially on a hero like Naga.
right. All right, I'm gonna skip a bit farther, and I'm gonna be kind of strict about time because we have so many replays today. So this looks like an interesting spot. All right, he's got heart.
21K gold lead. All right, the mistake has happened before this point. We need to go back.
12k gold lead.
Back.
Oh, there's a team wipe.
All right, there's the feed. Okay,
Okay.
so 5K gold lead at 27 minutes. Not the worst. Could be much worse.
Although you do have a bounty hunter, so it means that you guys are not. I mean, this is a terrible bounty game, to be honest, because you have such a passive carry, and then he doesn't really have a combo to easily get kills with unless Skywrath has an Atos, which he doesn't.
It's a BH core too, man.
Yeah. And he's playing into a Legion Spectre Axe. That sounds awful.
Really fun stuff there.
All right, so you get called,
Okay.
blink called, Blade Mail with Axe. Running back. Ember's dead. Then the illusions. You have ward on the entrance to part of your high ground. CM
So
feeds.
here's what I would say. I'm not a Naga expert myself. Can you pause for a second here? So
Sure.
I would say I'm not a Naga expert myself, but I know if you're a Naga and you're against me and you're doing this shit, I don't care that you exist. You're just sitting safely on your side of the map and you're not pressuring me at all with your bullshit illusions. If you watch like Ritsu play Naga or Sumail play Naga, you'll notice that they like run through the enemy jungle with their main hero and just send illusions to cut waves, and they try to do whatever they can to like get into the enemy triangle or into the enemy jungle, and they just play with the song to get out if they have to. So what I would say is like watch like a Ritsu replay. I mean, that guy's a giant piece of shit of a person, but he's a fantastic Naga player. And I would definitely say check out one of his replays, see what he does on the hero, because you aren't applying any pressure right now with the hero that you pick, because it applies pressure with the, if you want just like a late game carry and it's not a free game for Naga, then you probably want to pick something else that's just really good in the late game. Like you have Spectres, you know,
Void.
I guess gyrocopter, void, yeah, there's tons of things, right? So, but like the main strength of this hero is that you play with the illusions and you force the enemy team back to their side of the map with the carry, and they have to constantly keep hunting you. But if you're playing in your own triangle, like they don't need to hunt you because you're not applying any pressure. There's nothing that they need to stop you from doing. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would say that, once again, I'm not a Naga expert myself. I barely play the hero, but I know when I'm playing against like 7K Nagas, this motherfucker's in my jungle and he's sending illusions out, and I can't find his main hero because he's sitting in trees just waiting to song out if we come find him.
Right.
And like we have to force him to leave there before he does what you're doing right now. You know, like we have to get him out of our place before he goes to his own triangle, and then he just makes his way there. Even if you need to smoke, I think it's fine. Like you should be cutting 2 waves constantly just on the enemy side of the map.
Yeah. Okay. So you song late to try and save BH. Now with no song, you're going to show top and play aggressively and die as a result. So, all right. With that being said, I mean that's obviously not a good play. You can't show in lane with your main hero when you're behind without song. It's pretty simple rule.
You're kind of playing Naga like it's another hero. You're playing Naga like a Void or something. It's like you need to be doing like the Naga specific things that make the hero annoying to deal with. It's like playing with the illusions and playing in like the enemy jungle. All right, I'm gonna guess like. All right. The mechanics all seem fine. Ancient, low ancient, we'll say.
All right. He is
Oh, shit.
Legend 2.
Let's see. Is that close? That's kind of
that's about 1,000 MMR.
Well, what's 1,000 MMR?
Yeah. So I mean, basically, like if you're gonna pick this hero, play it like the hero. Don't play it like some other hero that you could have picked. I would say that one of our mods in our Discord likes to recommend the cookie CS challenge to every single person learning to play carry, and I'm always pretty like I scoff at that a lot. But if you're gonna play heroes like Naga and Meepo, then it's legitimately a good way to learn how to play that kind of carry, which is to try and farm everything at the same time, and that's what you need to be doing on this hero. Don't just sit in your jungle and play like you're an anti-mage trying to get to the late game.
The cookie. What does that mean?
There's this dude named Cookie who's like 6.5k EU coach who has come up with several of these like last hit benchmark challenges, like 1,500 last hits at like 35 minutes with Meepo or some shit like that, where you have to be really efficient to get there.
Those are such like carry specific.
Yeah.
I feel like as an off laner, I have no concept. I always have people in coaching. It's like, oh, I should have a Battle Fury by this time. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like,
right.
That depends on the game. Like, that depends on what your job is. I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Unsharing my screen. Going on there.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, I'm gonna boil some water, get some tea ready, because this is the tea time replay analysis. So.
Tea time replay analysis. So, tea time replay analysis. I've been drinking tea this entire stream so far. Feels great. That's some good tea. You guys drink tea? Or you drink pee? What? That's weird. What tea do I drink? I like black tea and matcha tea.
That's really funny.
I like caffeinated tea a lot, but I also just like lots of tea in general.
Hello.
You're so annoying, dude. Can you grow up, please?
Someone said to stop yelling on stream and that we should stop doing that.
Yeah.
What about fart noises?
I mean, it's probably more appropriate.
You like this?
Oh yeah, sheeps.
Yeah. Woolly jumpers. Oh, is it backwards to you or is it only backwards to me?
No, it looks good to me.
You see, what does it say?
Woolly jumpers. Irish woolly jumpers.
Oh. Why does it look backwards to me? How do cameras work?
I don't know. Magnets, how do they work? Miracles.
Miracles, honestly. Miracles up in the sky.
An ICP fan, I see.
Yes, of course.
How can you not be? Woo woo.
We're all ICP fans, man.
Agreed.
In heart.
All right, so
equality, man. All right, anyway.
So this guy says, I call this game Meepo Smurf Hold My Beer. Joke aside, is that a joke? I'm not sure. Joke aside, we won hard, but can you tell some tips on how to lane as pose 4 against very aggressive safe lane Dazzle
All
Sky
right.
5?
You won, and we have a rule here that if you submit a winning replay, and it's an unwritten rule because we haven't written it anywhere, if you submit a written replay, we're going to tear you a new one as much as we can. So if you want a new sphincter, you're getting one. We're tearing it up for you. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I'm also I'm not sure who you're playing. So if you're going to,
he said he was pause 4.
How to lane as a pause 4 against an aggressive citizen. Okay, so he's the Jakiro, I assume.
Yeah. Okay. I want to leave ancient bracket. Help me for free. No.
Buy BKB earlier than you do. And I'm assuming you're a core player because of course you are. Nobody plays support in ancient.
Support player. Name another mythical beast.
Exactly.
Unicorn.
Miracles. All right.
Magnets. Magnetism.
So how do you play against an aggressive lane like this as a position 4? Well,
I don't know. I don't have a screen in front of me, so that's really difficult for me to.
I was just trying to make it a little bit more difficult because you're so good at guessing.
Yeah. I mean, I am 2 for 2 so far, so
yeah,
you have to really, turn things on their head and spin things up, try to make it more difficult for me. I can understand that.
Yeah, that's how she goes. But yeah, in the future, if you guys are going to submit a replay, please tell me who you are in terms of your hero, because
we figured it out.
Easier.
We got it. We figured it out.
Yeah, but I wasted like 10 seconds of my time to do so.
Okay, they have a Dazzle. I don't see how you lose this with a Dazzle on the enemy team. I guess they have Meepo versus AM. That's pretty cool. That sucks for your AM. Yeah. What is this? What is this? They have an aggro Death Prophet. Yo, this has got to be just the lowest possible.
Herald.
This is like Herald, or what's the one even above that? Crusade? No.
Crusader. No, Guardian.
Is it Crusader? Guardian.
All right, I'd say that's a pretty good guess just based off the draft alone.
Yeah, this is like SF AM Legion Commander, Jakiro 4, 5 Skywrath, offlane DP, safe lane Dazzle. This is just actually like so many unconventional picks. All right,
Yeah.
let's go back. This is
Okay, so how do you play against an aggressive lane like this when you're a 4? The answer is just don't feed. Just play it as if you're the safe lane. Like, the only reason that 4 is usually thought of as the aggressive support is because almost always they have the ability to pressure the safe lane. If you're playing against a safe lane that can pressure you, pretend that you're a 5 and just shove the wave and pull. That's all you have to do for the entire laning stage. It's that simple.
you don't have a tango going right now, and you're trading.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Recognize that you can't trade against them either because they're two very good trading heroes.
We say this every week too. Respect your regen. If you are sitting at 40% HP, well, that's kind of more respect your HP threshold.
Respect your resources. Exactly.
Respect your resources. You have 40% HP. You're not using your regen. Use your regen, then trade. Don't trade as if you have HP to trade with when you don't have HP to trade with. That's one of the first things. All right, can we hold alt for a second here?
Did we double block the camp? No.
All right,
But
I mean, they're both gonna get dewarded if you.
Right.
This is Herald. This is Herald.
Because if this is blocking the camp, where is he gonna put the ward to deward? Literally right there, which means that this is also gonna get dewarded.
This is definitely Herald. Oh my god, what is Dazzle doing? Why? Why did he walk over with like 5 creeps on him and just start fighting?
Because kills. Because kills, Jenkins. It's only kills in Herald.
All right. Lesson number 1, respect your resources. Let's speed this up. Walking back to lane. You're level 2 at 5 minutes. That's not good.
Whoa, your positioning is suicidal. Okay. So, here's the deal, man. I'm going to give you one tip that will make you a better Dota player for the rest of your life. If you've died in the same way twice, which is to the overwhelming slows, high movement speed, and right-click damage and long range of the 2 heroes that you're laning against as a hero with slow movement speed, lower range, terrible cast time, and bad movement speed, don't do it a third time. Why are you dying? Ask yourself the question, why am I dying? What killed me there? Is it my positioning? Is it their slows? Is it the movement speed? Is it all 3? Because it has been all 3 both of the times previously. Don't do those mistakes again. Boom. 1,000 MMR. It's very simple.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the time, if you're dying in a lane, it's because you're against a hard lane, and you just need to not feed. You just need to be more respectful of your opponents and their threat, their potential.
Yeah.
And if you don't know whether a lane is supposed to beat you, then you will know very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's when you need to stop repeating. And I know kind of being a little tongue-in-cheek because we've seen you feed and it's kind of funny. But legitimately, even at a pro level, this happens.
Yeah.
This is fine. You cannot understand that you're going to die somewhere because you just miscalculate because it's a complicated game. And that's a little mistake. And what makes it a big mistake is when you have to take the information that's being given to you in the game and alter the way that you're playing based off of it.
Yes.
So when you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it should only be if you've identified that, okay, these deaths are worth it, but they're just random feeds. So they're definitely not, which means you just need to find something else to do. You can pull. You can play on the other side of the lane instead. You can go jungle, go stack the jungle, do something else because repeating the same thing over and over again is clearly not working. And I guarantee you in a game of Dota, there is enough stuff on the map that you can possibly do such that there will be something better than this. There will almost always be something better because this game is complicated.
Yeah. So you spent the last full minute doing actually 0 other than making your Legion commander's game harder by leeching half of his experience. So I'm going to move on from this replay because I think we've given you 3 things that will immediately improve your ability to play Dota better. And I want a guess from Jenkins. We have Herald. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm guessing like Guardian Herald. High Herald, low Guardian.
Okay. And he is Crusader 2. but
Okay.
playing with Guardian. So fairly close.
Maybe a 500 MMR window is kind of tight. I feel like that's a little tight. Because like
you just haven't been right yet, so now you're trying to widen the parameters. It's understandable.
I said Guardian, and he's Guardian. Like
no, he's Crusader.
Is that Guardian or is that Archon? What is Guardian?
Guardian is brown.
Crusader. Okay, that's still, dude. He's 2 ticks above Guardian.
It's true. It's true.
Come on.
I'll give it to you. Speed gets it within a star. Yeah, well, Speed's been doing this like 12 videos now. So, give Jenkins a little bit of slack. He's kind of...
No, I actually understand why Speed understands bad players, because like he can empathize with them. He shares a lot in common with them.
I knew that's where you're going.
I'm just kidding. Speed's really good, actually. Speed's really good. He's like 7K, I think. Which is, of course, if you're a 7K player, you're an intellectual.
Oh, is that so?
Is that so? Yes. Certainly.
All right. On to the next one.
I just don't know what it's like to be a shitty Dota player, Sorry, guys. I'm just so intellectual here, a 7K player.
Yeah.
Highly intelligent. Socrates, Plato, those guys are jackasses. What do they know? Nothing.
Not much.
Put their ideas in the toilet.
Right. You've got a big intellect, big and powerful intellect, like the American president.
Yeah. Donald Trump Donald Trudeau or whatever his name is.
Donald Trudeau.
Yeah, something like that. He's a good guy. He did the blackface thing a few times though, which isn't good. I'm a pretty big fan of not racism.
Yeah.
I think that's got good stuff going for it.
Agreed.
I have tried racism a little bit, just take a little dip into it. But you just try different things in life, and I tried racism. I try, you just take a taste of different things.
Yeah, I'll
be right back. I'm gonna go put my tea in a pot. Do you have something to say before I leave?
I was just gonna say I like to sample the different colors in tea instead of in terms of bigotry and prejudice, unlike you.
I try the tea as well. It's just that bigotry is like another thing in life. You have to, I'm always up for new things. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Shut up, Ellie. We're doing replay review. I'm probably not allowed to talk to Ellie like that. Only Jenkins can. All right. I won't read the description.
All right, I'm back.
It's really interesting.
What?
There's like a small subsect of our community, of our YouTube.
Did you say subsect?
Yeah.
I think subset's the word.
Subset. Well,
I think subsect actually works, but that makes it sound like we're a cult.
Yeah, but I mean we kind of are. That's the thing. Like
That's true.
We're two internet personalities that people worship for gaining them hits of dopamine by winning Dota games. We actually have a very good foundation for building a cult. Actually,
that's true.
We have
efficient, by the way.
We have like our rituals of like tea and asking us questions, coming to the feet of the glorious leaders, sucking the toes of the feet of the glorious.
I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing that at all.
I completely forgot what I was going to talk about. Anyway.
Jesus Christ. All right, keep talking. I can hear you.
All right. So we've got a Crystal Maiden replay.
Okay. Oh fuck.
And he says, whoa. Easy there, bud.
Oh yeah, was that person that said they can't watch with their 3-year-old anymore? That sucks. I should stop. It's the Canadian, man. I can't help it. It's in my blood. All right.
Oh, so what I was going to say is there's a small subset of the alchemy community that is really obsessed with the hair on our bodies. There's like, there's like 50 people that would come into every comment section and be like, Jenkins needs to cut his hair. And now there's like 50 people that come into every comment section and they're like, Donnie needs to shave his beard.
Whoa. Okay. Don't forget the people that ask what my shampooing routine is. Like, come on, man. You only mentioned the negatives. There's good hair people out there too.
It's true.
There's great hair people. Keep asking me that. That's really good. I like that. Keep complimenting my hair. It's about the only thing I have going for me.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's true. Everybody just hates my beard, but I like it because shaving is annoying. So that's why I don't do it.
That's a really practical reason. Are you sure you're not a dad?
Yeah. I mean,
what's the number one shampoo?
Shempok, actually.
I think Head and Shoulders is really good, honestly. They're solid.
Shempok. Yeah, that's good stuff. Anyway, Crystal Maiden replay says, I feel like I helped secure the safe lane for my drow and then started to roam a bit, lost the game after losing a couple team fights, not sure what else I could have done here, thanks. Alright, I'm going to take this one because I've been playing so much Crystal Maiden. And you're playing with a hero that you have to babysit until she leaves the lane. And if you don't babysit her until she leaves the lane, then you're probably going to lose the game. And unfortunately, you pretty much just have to stay in the lane until your drow leaves, because if you leave, she dies. And that's one of the biggest changes that I've noticed about playing 5 recently, is that it used to be you secure the lane for your carry, then you go roam and kill people, and then you win the game because your carry just farms the jungle. But that has kind of shifted at this point, where it's like you support them, then when it gets dark, you put up wards, and then you come back to your lane and you support them again until they decide to leave.
They leave and you stay in the lane, maybe even too these days. It's like in the days of, I mean, with like Nakes, yeah, you leave. With like Troll, like when that was being picked, like you leave. Yeah. There's a lot of heroes that you would leave, but not Drow.
Yeah,
not Drow, unfortunately.
And also, I think that it's really good to keep your safe lane tower alive as long as possible these days, because it's so hard to access the enemy jungle at this point. I think everybody's kind of good at protecting their jungle, and if you can take their safe lane tower and keep yours alive, then you kind of just win the game automatically because you have way more farm than the other team does. Mm-hmm. So I think it's not really the point of supports to leave the lane and go affect other lanes as much, unless it's like a full team move to go take a tower. I think that it's better to just kind of like, you'll see like pro supports now that are basically the same level as their carries for like the entire first 10 minutes, because they're just in lane, helping to deny, helping to get creeps, like, getting the range creeps so the carries doesn't get denied, giving them regen, just like staying in the lane.
It does depend on the game though. Like I don't want to say this is like a blanket solution. Like if you're staying in the lane and just soaking XP from your carry, and there's only one hero top,
yeah, sure,
it's just awful. Like you should be in the enemy safe lane, or you should be jungling, or you should be mid. You should be doing something.
Yeah.
Other than the bullshit. All right, I'm gonna guess this is another low rated one because there's a Wraith King off lane. And he's alone, and you just single pulled against him, which means that he's gonna get a double wave as a solo offlaner. And somehow it's not happening. I don't know how. I don't know what happened. The one thing I do want to say is that if you're playing in the dire safe lane and you're a support and you're not doing what I'm about to say, you're not abusing the most broken lane in Dota. Pull the hard camp first and stack the easy camp. This is what every single professional position 5 does, because
you pull this
lane's just not okay. It's legitimately not. It's not okay. It's the hardest lane to lane into.
And at this point in the game, in Dota, you're not allowed to play solo offlane, I would say.
No. Like no way.
There's no offlaner that you can play solo successfully at the moment.
Unless there's an Enigma in the game, which is not really a solo offlane.
Right. Right. So what Jenkins is saying is you pull this as the first pull available. So like 120 or so, like basically when the creep wave gets to about here, you have to cut this tree. You pull this at around 120, then you come over here and you stack this at 50, and then you start pulling this over and over and over. And that's just how you play the safe lane. With a drow, you don't want to just like relentlessly pull with a drow and make her tank creeps, but if the lane is ever under her tower or out farther than here, then you just pull.
Yep.
And that's basically all you do for the entire game.
So 4 minutes in, you're harassing the jungle Wraith King, which is fine.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Seems good.
Drow is farming. That ward is a really good ward, scouting the high ground there.
Yep. I like that. Marana's feeding, leaped into tower after being
I'm
hooked.
gonna guess this is low of a mar just from the picks and the teammates, what they're doing.
So right now is when you want to go
This
back
is
and
when
pull.
you pull. Yeah.
Yep. All right. TP.
Ooh, that is
Not worth.
That is potentially getting your drow. Yeah, you need to immediately. Oh, holy shit, dog! You have 1,200 net worth too. You really want to spend that on some boots, like full Tranquil boots, and just speed yourself up to the top lane.
Yeah, you definitely do not show bottom. Like
you cannot. Your drow is dying right now, and this is your fault.
Yeah.
This is you. What's happening is you. Oh, he somehow survives. It's a miracle. But you can see that his lane is not good. And that's because he honestly shouldn't even be here, and you should just be defending this safe lane tower.
Yeah.
He should be in the triangle, just getting huge.
He should be where you are, and you should be where he is. And you should also be getting huge because there's just waves pushing into you constantly because Wraith King is just shoving the lane constantly.
So I would never ever leave a carry, let alone a drow, without at least giving them vision first.
Yeah.
Your job is to secure their game, and if you're ever doing something that compromises them to help another lane, you need to immediately get back and do whatever you can to secure their game again and apologize to them and kiss their feet if they die when you leave.
Yep.
Because it's not your job to kill that jug. It's not that your job to help the bottom lane. If your team needs help, it's like you can only help. It's like if you're working at a grocery store and you finish all of your jobs first, so you go help the dairy guy put the milk out. It's like you're not going to help him do that, and then at the end of the night, your manager's like, "Yo, dude, the ice cream is still in the freezer. What were you doing?" "Oh, I was helping the dairy guy." That's not your job. Like, the dairy guy's not going to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble.
Plot twist, you are
fault.
the dairy guy because you're dealing with ice cream. So
no,
that's some weird Inception shit that just happened.
Listen. No. This guy has never worked at a grocery store. You just made me. Now I know you've never worked at a grocery store because ice cream is frozen. Dairy is milk and butter and all of the stuff that's in a fridge. Ice cream is frozen. That's in a full freezer. That's a different department. Dude, this guy's never worked at a grocery store. How dare you? How dare you? Grocery store workers unite, man.
I apologize.
It's a hard life. It's okay. I caught you, though. I called you out. I know you haven't. You're not even fighting with me.
It's true. I just go there and, I take their food and eat it.
That's stealing, man. That's stealing. Don't do that, Donnie. Just like Crystal Maiden was stealing. I don't know where I'm going with that. I didn't steal anything, but you got a drow killed, so.
Yeah. And I think that, it's okay to rotate sometimes. Like maybe this isn't the worst rotation, but the fact is that you then stayed in the bottom half of the map for about 30 seconds. Like, if you're going to make a rotation, you have to literally just instantly run back to the lane that you were supposed to be in, because like, I know that this is you're trying to like take sort of advantage of the fact that you've used your TP and now you're like sort of committed to the bottom side of the map. So let's try and make plays on the bottom side of the map. But the fact that you use that TP to get to the bottom is kind of a mistake. So you need to fix that mistake by being inefficient and running back to the lane that you're supposed to be in.
Yep. I've had that happen. I've had that happen dozens of times where I'm like Sand King and I TP somewhere and then I see the enemy team is grouping up to push in like a completely far away lane. And it's like, it's my job to be there and stop that push from happening. So do I get creeps? Nope. Do I push out the mid lane? Nope. Do I put wards or nothing? I just run straight back to that lane because I know if I'm not holding that tower, nobody's going to hold that tower. And it's worth sacrificing like 20, 30 seconds of my farm in order to hold a tower.
Yep. All right, so we made another rotation in the mid lane and got a kill. So we've had 2 good, quote unquote, good, successful rotations. So we'll call them, we've had 2 fruitful rotations. But are they good rotations? I would say no, just because
I think the second one's okay. I mean, it's
the second one's
this.
okay, but you still haven't given your drow any vision.
Yeah, this is all so much better if you're just giving your drow some sort of ward that's protecting her. Then this is so much better.
Yeah.
And I think the drow should be in the triangle.
Yes.
But I have seen games where a drow is just so huge that they're like, okay, I can jungle in this area. I can play in this area and I feel fine. And maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. But that's something they've identified and something that they're doing. You can't stop them from doing that largely.
Right.
But you want to enable them to do that. This guy can't protect the tower. The awful, useless, worthless offlane Wraith King is now almost as farmed as your drow and just took the goddamn tower solo because this guy's too scared to defend the tower. That tower shouldn't die. That should be the tower that you're holding.
Drow actually
out.
just died, and that's why the tower died.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. You should be holding it. You should be sitting in trees top. Everybody TP's in if the enemy team goes on you. You press your ulti in the trees. It's this big fight. They lose a lot, or maybe you lose. Either way, you're making them actually have to put in work to get that tower. And they should. They should put in work to get that tower.
Yeah. So I think we'll stop this replay there because I think it's kind of interesting that your little subtext for the replay is I helped secure the safe lane for my drow and then started to roam. So no, you didn't actually secure the safe lane for your drow. You did by killing the Wraith King initially, but then you immediately left to do other stuff. So you didn't really secure the safe lane.
The problem is it's a drow ranger. That's the problem. Is that you need to think about what your carry needs from you.
Yes.
And it depends on the hero. It's something that depends on the hero.
Yep.
Like
okay.
Alchemist farms until level 4, then goes jungles. Anti-mage is a different story. Wraith King can be left alone because he has skeletons. There's all different heroes that do different things.
And if your carry is not leaving to do the right thing, then you should probably still be there, at least providing them with vision to do the wrong thing.
Yeah. I mean, at least put the ward down.
Yeah, at least put the ward down. All right. So guess the rank.
Stupid draft. Teammates did really silly stuff. All right. So let's see. I was off by about 1 rank. I guess too high, and then I guess too low. I want to say Crusader, but I was too low last time, so I'll say Archon. I'll say this was Archon.
And it's a full Guardian replay. You'll get it one of these days, my friend. One of these days, my friend, you'll figure it out.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Damn, I should not do like beginner guides. I have no idea like what each level of Dota player does, actually.
That's pretty clear.
I mean, it's been so long. It's been so long. I've been playing like 8 hours a day for 5 years.
All right. So this next one is I'm Coddle. I delay my ultimate, but I thought it was the best call to give free XP and make stacks. I don't know what I could have done to win this game. They got shit pooped on by a 21-9 Morphling.
Okay.
And I will share my screen with you. Screen is now shared. Is this Owie stack?
Go look. Just show me the pictures, I can tell you.
All right.
Open scoreboard?
Oh yeah. Oops, hold on. Oh, I showed you.
Well, it's a green badge. I don't even know what one that is.
All right. Well, I showed it to you. So this one, we'll just do a regular replay review. I ruined it.
1 sec, dude. I have to fill my cock. Perfect. Steamy cock.
All right.
That's a
Coddle.
hot cock.
Caudal Gyro. That is a nasty lane.
Oh, dirty. Are we looking at the Caudal?
Yeah.
All right, Donnie, you're the Caudal expert, buddy.
I don't personally start with mangoes. I don't think there's any point in starting with mangoes on this hero most of the time.
What, don't you spam out Blinding Light? Doesn't that cost like 100 mana?
I mean, you do. I don't think you ever need 2 mangoes. I think you can usually get by with 1.
Okay, you're the expert.
But then again, I usually buy 2 wards and courier, so I don't know if you just did.
Oh, that's a noob strat. That's what noobs do now, Donnie.
I don't know if you bought any wards, because I don't see any wards on the map. Oh, yeah.
Noobs buy wards, dude. People don't buy wards anymore.
Yeah, they do.
No, I'm not even joking about that.
No,
People don't.
they
People
buy-
don't start with wards.
They buy a ward and they put it to watch a rune, is what they do.
Sometimes.
You should probably have 1 rune ward. I don't think that you need.
Yeah, like 1 ward is like the standard these days. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes none. Like you can just get rune control by using your hero.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are landing against a Timber Saw in a tri-lane, so you should just be punching him in the face, which you guys are doing. He has no lane. Like we said, you're not allowed to play solo offlane in the current meta. It's actually not possible. And this guy's playing a hero that is traditionally one of the hardest offlaners to deal with. So, I mean, this is good. You have a ward watching him. You're beating the crap out of him. We're not pulling the creeps. This is actually a pretty good support play so far.
Yeah, I agree. If you can get your Gyro to like level 3, then he can deal. Oh my god, he pushed the lane by accident. No. Yeah, if you can get your Gyro to level 3, then it's really good because he can deal with the Timber with some levels.
Yeah. Uh-oh, that's a mistake.
Well, just run it back.
Yep. I don't think your Tusk should be pulling right now. That seems pretty questionable. Now there's a
single pulling.
Double lane pushing into your Gyro that you guys are having to tank.
Well, why are you tanking in front of the tower? There's no creep wave coming there, bud.
Yeah.
This guy pulled it. I mean, this guy's still level 1. It's not the worst. I think Tusk is stacked and pulled. So it's actually fine. Oh, never mind.
All right, lane gets pushed. Now you go pull. Seems fine. Timbersaw's super pooped on.
Yeah, I mean, Gyro could basically solo Timber with these levels.
Yeah. So, early securing of the bounties. Good stuff. And now... Yeah, I guess now is sort of what becomes the interesting choice, because you've secured this lane for your Gyro. This is what securing a lane looks like, by the way. You give your Gyro 2 or 3 levels advantage. So then you go stack, which seems fine. I think that you should have some idea that your Underlord is having literally the worst game of his life. He has 5 CS at 6 minutes into the game. Because you guys tri-land.
This is what happens. Yeah, this is not on him. Yeah, this always happens to me as an offlaner, and it's like.
Yeah. So now the correct move, if we're talking about what should happen in this game, is your Gyro and you and Tusk should go to their safe lane and fight the Morphling, and the Underlord should go to your safe lane and catch up and farm and hold the tower. But what's going to happen is you and the Tusk are going to go to the Underlord because he's complaining about having a bad game, and now you're taking your strong lane and you're making it not as strong by taking 2 of the heroes out of it, and you're going to put them in your losing lane, and you're now going to lose the lane that you now have 3 heroes in because it's already so much in the favor of the Radiant. So you're actually... I
don't think the play is to rotate the Underlord top, actually. I kind of disagree with that. No, because I think you're rotating into a losing matchup. You're rotating an Underlord into a Timber, which is a counter. So you're going to let the Timber catch up.
Okay, so maybe you should put the Death Prophet in the bottom lane with the Tusk and the Caudal, and the Underlord should go to the mid.
Yeah. So basically, somebody needs to lane against Timber that can just own him, and that's Gyro.
Right.
So because of the nature of this Timbersaw hero, how if he doesn't have a really good game, he's completely useless. Like anytime you have an OD, Bristle's the same. Like anytime you have an OD or a Gyro or some hero that can deal with one of these like cheesy pick heroes where they just like, aha, I'm unkillable.
Right.
You want to keep, or Broodmother, like you want to keep that hero, the only hero that can be against them, to be against them. But something needs to happen to get this Underlord levels.
Right.
I think taking the DP, putting the DP bot, and then putting the Underlord mid, who doesn't care about Storm Spear, and Storm's already having an okay game. He can already catch up in the jungle, right? Timber can't do that, so you don't
Right.
want to give him a way into the game. Say, put your DP bot, or you guys go mid and pull people away from the Underlord, giving him space.
That also works, yeah.
That's fine, but definitely like you need to have an idea of how you want to change the lanes that's going to result in you getting more. That's the bottom line. Is like going mid could work, going bot could work, but it has to be with this. But when you go bot, it has to be with the DP, because I think if you're playing with the Underlord, he's going to be useless, right? It's just like basically the two supports playing together at that point.
Right. And that's the point. Like that's the main point that I was trying to make there, is that what I see a lot happen in games where it's like you crush one lane, your other lane is getting completely pooped on, is you don't put enough resources to then make that lane that's losing a winning lane. And so you end up just like making one of your other lanes that was good weaker, and then you don't do enough to make the lane that's weak strong. And so you end up just like taking a lead in one of the lanes and then just throwing it away for nothing, because you don't actually gain anything by rotating into the Underlord's lane.
Yeah. Yep. You definitely don't want to throw away this. Like, I'd rather you keep the lanes exactly the way they are,
right,
than to just rotate into the Underlord's lane.
Yep. Yeah, so I definitely think that on second thought, the mid lane rotation makes the most sense because DP is already there.
If I'm Underlord right now, I'm saying I'm taking a lane.
Yeah.
I'm TPing mid and I'm stealing CS from DP, and I'm telling him to go somewhere else. Because like, look at this Gyro. Like, he can just deal with this Timber solo, basically.
Right. I mean, Timber still has 2 CS at 6 minutes, so he's having an even worse time than Underlord.
Yep. I don't think you need to be here to deal with the Timber anymore.
I do think.
I think you leave. You leave a safe lane ward.
It is okay to maybe push with this, the catapult.
Yeah, sure. I think rotations to the lane are definitely fine. I don't think you need to sit in like pull and stuff.
Right.
I think you can go play to the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
I think playing between like the Death Prophet and the Gyro is fine. Like maybe get a kill with the Gyro, and then you go to mid and get the tower with your Death Prophet. Go with the Gyro again.
Yeah.
Think that sort of thing. And then once you take this like safe lane tower, then I think it's good to. See, this is why you wanted that ward down, to protect this Gyro. It's like the storm rotation.
Right.
Now you give it to him. It's like after he already died. So you can see like the mistake there. I'm glad that in the game you adjust based on what happened. You're like, okay, I needed a ward here, so I'm just gonna put one here. Right. That's good. But to be even better, you need to do that before the Gyro actually dies.
Right. Exactly.
And this is something that applies to almost every game.
Yep.
You always want to leave some sort of safe lane ward.
Yep.
Especially against Storm, like that hero's going to TP into a tower and just zip. So you need a tower ward. If you're against like a Pudge or something like that, then yeah, you can have a side ward because he's going to walk in from the side and try to hook. But it just depends on the heroes that are going to be doing the rotations, and it's Mirana and it's Storm.
Yeah,
so I think a tower ward is necessary.
And I think also a secondary benefit to making this sort of play where you like, all right, we got to kill top. Now me and the Tusk are going mid. We're taking the mid tower with the Death Prophet. Is that you won't end up under leveled because you'll be around creeps dying more regularly than you have been so far. So I think not having Coddle's level 6 by 10 minutes is unacceptable just because of how the double tomes work at this point. Like, you need to have that spell because it's so huge in terms of impact. And like,
it's one of the best ultimates in the game, especially with Gyro, Underlord, DP.
Yeah,
these are all heroes.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they benefit massively from just being able to. They do so much damage, and it's all in an AoE, and they have AoE silences, AoE disables. Like the Underlord Pit plus the plus the Coddle ulti with the Death Prophet ulti going and Gyro flacking. There is no way that this enemy team is ever going to be able to team fight you, no matter what they have.
Yep.
Ever. So as long as you guys are fighting together, you're solid. This tower doesn't really matter that much. That's the only problem. I guess you took the mid tower, so that's fine. But I would like to see this same play just in the bot lane.
Right, because it's more
take over the more important area.
Right, and also at this point, you need to force your Underlord to stop going to this lane, because he's like, where else am I supposed to go? My team's playing in the other 2 lanes. What am I supposed to do?
Taking this top tower makes it really easy for him to play top and in the jungle and just come back. Yeah. And then you guys take the heroes that aren't weak pieces of shit and you put them into the bot lane.
Right.
Because look at how far standing up you are. You can't be there. That is not a good area to be at 14 minutes into the game. That you just lost your 2 highest value cores because you guys are top instead of bot. It's really hard to play there because they just TP on the triangle. And then what are you going to do? Fight them on the triangle? it has that spooky name for a reason. It's the triangle, man. It sounds like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, you go there and you disappear, man. That's literally
Yeah.
how it is.
You're like Amelia Earhart. Your body's never going to be discovered, man. Like, do you want to be Amelia Earhart? I mean, I guess she's pretty well known, but only because she died. That doesn't sound great. Now you're doing it. So this is good. Like, this is the thing, is that I see that you're doing a lot of the right things in the game, but only after a mistake happens. And now it's like too late. You know, you have the snowballing storm to deal with. Morph is the highest CS in the game. You've just been free farming. They have a 4K net worth lead. You're losing all of your outer towers.
Yep.
When you had a tower advantage because of the throws. And sometimes in Dota, you can throw like this and you just have better heroes at doing like X or Y thing and you win. But there are some games, I always say this when I'm coaching, like Dota's like poker, where you're like dealt a hand and you can be the best poker player in the world and you might just win. You might lose a game of poker based on just getting crappy hands, people getting ridiculously lucky on the flop. You know, it's like you have like a pair of or 3 aces, somebody has 2 queens, and then they just get 2 queens on the last 2 after you're all in. And it's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? I played really well. Yeah, you did. But sometimes you have to play better, you know? In Dota, it's like sometimes you have to do everything in order to win the game. Like, you can't make any mistakes.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm seeing here, where it's like these are like 1 or 2 mistakes, but I don't see a way back after you make them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're playing well overall, but you're just not playing fast enough for the pace that this game needs to be played at. I think is kind of what it comes down to. Like, you're making the correct decision 2 minutes too late every single time. And if you can just cut that out and just make the decision correctly the first time, then you probably win this game because you had the momentum. You guys were crushing the lanes aside from your Underlord lane. And then if you are the ones that make the correct rotation instead of basically gifting the enemy team a correct rotation, then you end up just snowballing, which is what they're doing.
Dota is not like poker, by the way. All right, Dylan S., let's hear it. Let's hear it.
All right.
You disagree, I want to hear why.
We're moving to the next replay. I'm going to keep this moving.
Good.
Guess the rank. You already guessed. It's Archon. It's pretty close to Legend, which is kind of expected because that was definitely several steps up from what we watched in the previous 2 replays, which is expected since there's about a 1500 MMR difference.
Okay.
I would also disagree that Dota is definitely kind of like poker because there's lots of poker players that are good at Dota.
I mean, it's an analogy. I also do coaching with the guy who plays professional poker, and that's the sole reason why I compare Dota to poker, because he did, and I thought it was a really good analogy. I used this analogy because I thought it was amazing. So, I mean, I guess that's argument from authority, but I do feel like, you know, somebody who's mastered poker and is trying to master Dota probably has a pretty good idea on the similarities.
Yeah.
I just kind of trust his judgment.
Was Morph a Smurf? I have no idea. Maybe. But he was also gifted a game by the other team. So,
Donnie, how'd you like to take a sip out of my cock?
I have my own steel phallus that I'm drinking from.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love this glass. I got this from Walmart. Well, my mother-in-law, when she was over here, she got it for me. She knew I would love it.
Dude, Walmart has some amazing things. Hold on. 1 sec.
Yeah. Agreed. I love Walmart. Good stuff. Thrift stores, too. Thrift stores have some of the best shenanigans you can buy. Hi, I'm the Cuddle. Hello.
Check out this
How are
hat.
you? I don't see it. Let me.
You'll see it in a sec. I'm a huge hat person because I played baseball, so I like baseball hats a lot.
Oh, that is a cool hat. What is it? What does it have on it?
It's a camo hat with
is it Batman?
With a neon pink Batman on a camo hat with a neon yellow brim.
That is pretty cool.
I got this from Walmart for like $5.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice.
It's a good hat.
I've gotten good stuff from Walmart. If I see something that I just have never seen before, I just buy it no matter where it is. One thing that my mom made me realize is that stores. See, when I was a kid, I thought that stores just like all had the same stuff, you know. But like they get some things from like different suppliers. Some stores would be like, yeah, we'll try to sell this, see if it sells. So you can actually find pretty interesting stuff in like chain stores because one franchise might just be like, oh yeah, we'll buy some of this like weird Halloween stuff,
Yeah. Like
and it's so
like you can get ninja merch in Walmart now.
some of them.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize also that well, I mean, I worked in grocery, so I kind of knew this, but my mom, she buys like 6 packs
Mm-hmm.
of Diet Pepsi for $2. And like those are the ones that you buy a whole bottle for $2.99, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She just goes to these places and finds a deal. And it's like, man, I just go to one grocery store for all my things. And she's like driving around town getting all these deals, getting like pasta jars that are $1 when they should be like $4 each.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous because these stores, they sell stuff at a loss to get you in to buy other stuff. So if you just go to all of these stores and buy all of the lost things, you just save so much money. There's actually an art to shopping for things.
Yeah.
My mom is like a pro shopper. It's ridiculous the stuff she can get. I asked her she was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I don't like receiving gifts feels weird to me, to be honest. I don't really like receiving gifts.
Yeah.
I would prefer, one Christmas, I asked for to do something with my family, that everybody would do something, drink my favorite beer, something like that. And we did it. And it was great. I love that sort of thing. So I jokingly said to my mom, I don't know, get me whatever. I like surprises. Give me a playing card, a deck of playing cards with cocks on them or something. I don't really care. And for Christmas, she gets me a deck of playing cards with cocks on them. They have all different cocks of all different sizes. And I was like, where did you find this? How did you actually find this? She just found it at like Spencer's or something. They actually have that. It was ridiculous. Jenkins really enjoyed working at a store. You know what? I think there's a certain pleasure that you can have in these difficult experiences. Like people consider working at like a grocery store or something like that to be like a low class job. It's like you're not a software engineer, you're not a professor. It's not like intellectual or whatever. But I think that it has so much value to have worked something like that because then you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Like you have an idea of what it's like to like do physical work,
Yeah.
to do like the stocking at a grocery store. If you were to work in like management at a grocery store company, you could find all of these like analogies and stuff that you can make more efficient because you actually understand what it's like to be one of these like millions of people working at like basically the bottom of like the chain if you go up to like corporate level, you
Yeah,
know?
totally. I mean, I've done construction. I've like literally been on like a construction crew remodeling a hotel before and doing demolition work for like 9 hours a day. And it was like soul crushing, backbreaking work, but it was also kind of rewarding because it was just like you just like destroy yourself every day and you sleep super well at night. Go out drinking with like the boys every time you get a paycheck for like a couple of months. I've done. I think everybody should do some sort of physical labor and some sort of service work at some point, whether it's like being a waiter, being like a barista, being some
Yeah.
sort of customer service. It's like super important to your development as a human in society, I think.
This is I totally agree. I totally agree. I was super stoked. Ellie just finished her degree, right? So she didn't do the thing where like a lot of people work in high school or they work like when they just get out of high school and that's when they will do like some sort of service job, something really low paying and incredibly stressful, incredibly difficult. And I was super stoked when she got a job at Whole Foods because I knew it was going to be like really hard. And with the degree, you can generally get an office job, which is easy. Like office jobs are so easy, man. You sit on Reddit all day and you get paid like at least 50 grand a year. And then you go up, it's like programming is easier than that. It's easier than inputting data because it's fun. And you can just solve a problem in 30 minutes, spend the rest of the day jerking off on Reddit. It's like it just gets easier and easier and easier. And God, the amount of lessons that you learn though from doing that hard work, it's like something I don't think you should try to do something like that for like 10 years unless you enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I think that at least doing it for a year or 6 months or something so that you can get the lessons out of it, that's so valuable, man. Like I know Slacks worked at Slacks.
Outback.
he worked at Outback for like 4 years, and he always references that for like why he works as hard as he does.
Yep.
And most people will tell you that work in esports, that guy's literally a genius. He plays like he's an idiot on stream, but anybody with more than 2 brain cells will know that that's an act. You know,
Right.
the guy's a genius. The guy's incredibly hardworking. So is Purge, and these people are they have that experience of doing like insanely hard work. So it just makes them so grateful for what they currently do. Man, life's all about collecting lessons, isn't it? Like, what else is it?
That's true. Dude, honestly, I'm not going to lie. Every now and then, because I work, at a desk all day on this Dota stuff, and my other work is also at a desk doing video editing for a company in town. Sometimes I am very, very tempted to just quit both and just go get like a job in like a sawmill or like something really hard and physical, just because there.
It's
I
a
don't know.
totally different
It's
experience.
so totally different, and also just because I need, like, you have to move. If you're just sitting all the time at a desk, you're going to be very unhappy. It's at least that's how I
That's
am.
true.
So
That's true.
I have to
That's
move.
true.
I have to like experience physical stress
I was
because otherwise my body just like
this this is like ultra tangential, but Ellie's possibly looking into like getting a job as a cop, and we were just talking about it. I was like, man, I would just the amount that you would know that you're like directly contributing to the world, and it's kind of like cool and mysterious. I don't know. It's like being a cop is cool, right?
a cock.
It's a cock, yes, being a cock, like
Okay,
this guy.
sure.
Anyway, being a cop, it's cool. And I was just saying, like, man, I feel like a lot of people would like to do that just because of the the danger and the it's just cool. It's just kind of cool. But then I had the thought that whenever this chapter of my life is over, where I did some Dota and esports things, I think I'm gonna feel good about it, having been able to taste what it's like to be part of something in industry that's like brand new and gaming, and it's this young, weird, nobody knows what's going on. If I went on to be a cop or something like that, I would look back at this and be like, oh, that was a good lesson. But then I would do the same thing about being a cop. I would do this in the future after being a cop and be like, oh, I'm glad that I did that. I just think that like each thing is so different. No matter who you talk to in life, as long as they were doing something, there will be something fascinating about it because they're going to have such a different set of experiences than you've had, you know? Like compare being a cop to
Yeah.
being an esports person,
That
or being a doctor to that, or a paramedic,
I
or
mean,
a weather person working in production
right.
or science. It's like it's so different. It's all so different.
It's
You could
it's
just talk for hours about these people.
exactly. It's one of my favorite things about having done so many random jobs. Like I don't know. I don't like the idea of a career necessarily. I've never been into that. I like doing just kind of like whatever feels interesting to me and making it work, like at least to survive monetarily, if not become rich. And so I've done so many different jobs at this point in my life that it almost feels a little bit disingenuous to like have a conversation with somebody and they're like, yeah, I work in construction or I do this or I do this. And I'm just like, oh yeah, cool. And I can actually have a conversation about that and ask them some, somewhat relevant questions about that industry because I've also done that to some extent. And so it's just kind of nice to be able to relate to almost anybody that you meet because you've had such a wide net of things to where like any person that you might randomly meet on a train or on a ski lift or like, on the subway or something like that you just like strike up a conversation with, you can have some sort of point of relation with them,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is cool.
Anyway, big long top 10.
All right.
Can we send our replays now? Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
you may.
39. All right. We've got like 10 replays to go. I don't know if we can do 10 replays today.
We can
I kind of want to go watch the major at some point.
we can cut up. We can do them next week. I mean, we do one per month,
Yeah.
right? Minimum. So
Yeah. The only problem is that the next week will be new patch. So next week will be new patch.
What? Sorry, I had to open the window. It's real hot in here.
Next week will be a new patch, so I doubt anybody will want these replays reviewed next week.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, it is still November, so
It's true.
technically speaking, we do we do one replay. Do we have that in the Patreon? Do we say that?
That they have one replay per month, yeah.
Do we do one per month? Okay, we do. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, let's do this TA. Let's do like 2 or 3 more, and then we'll see where we're at. But I've been at work since.
No, we don't say it in there.
I thought we added that in, or we just announced it on Discord. Anyway, we'll figure it out afterwards. All right, TA.
Yeah.
Poopy Pants Boy, Templar Assassin. Guess the rank. We'll get there after we play a little bit. He says, I feel like laning went okay, but any advice on that would be greatly appreciated. I know I made a couple of bad rotations. I blinked into a location twice where I thought there were 2 heroes I could easily kill, but ended up being 4 or 5 enemy heroes. Whenever I got into a sticky situation, I would try to meld until my blink was up, but seemed to have a sentry on me most of the time and I would die. Running away wasn't always an option, as I was usually the one to get ruptured. I stayed too long bot after a team fight, overcommitted. Died for that as well. I feel like team didn't synergize, which I understand happens. I bought an Orchid with the intention of stopping Pudge or Bloodseeker from using their abilities. The game ended 5 minutes later, so I didn't get much use from it. Bloodseeker got fed really hard, and he was basically a raid boss. I know TA doesn't scale well into the late game. That's not correct. TA is one of the better late game heroes now with Meld Bash. But how could I have kept up with the other team's momentum and been able to carry the game, or at least play to my team's strength rather than expose my weaknesses? Anyway, so we'll watch a little bit of the lanes, and then we'll jump into the mid-game decision-making, I think. But sounds like you didn't farm enough, because your team is actually much better than theirs in the late game. What's up, Jason? Jason Newsham. Jason Newsham. Are you playing Dota still, sir? I haven't seen you in a long time. Alright. Misses the block.
What?
Misses the block. How do you feel about that? Weaver mid. How do you feel about that?
You're not screen sharing. I can't see anything.
Oh, apologies.
It's okay. I forgive you.
So he missed the block, and he's against a Weaver mid.
Okay. Seems like an easy lane for TA.
Yeah.
To dumpster this guy. If you watch like CC&C play this TA hero, he just hits every creep on the first wave.
Yeah, just try and trade as much as possible.
The wave. Just push the wave and get level 2. And hit them with every one of your... Like, the thing is, getting... The reason for it is because getting level 2 is good.
Yep.
And harassing them as much as possible is good. And you just do both things on TA.
Yep.
By hitting constantly.
Yeah, I mean, this hero, lane control on this hero is irrelevant. And in mid lane, it's kind of irrelevant anyway. It just sort of bounces back and forth. So just shove the wave, get level 2 earlier than them, and then trade with them better. Because you have refraction.
Yep.
Also,
you can also just take all of his regen away at the first level.
Yep.
This is so easy. Level 1 Weaver. What does he do?
He Shikuchis you for 60 damage and then runs away. Is what he does.
Yeah.
Oh, almost killed him.
That's fine. These TA players even ignore like range creep denies in order to just keep hitting.
Yeah.
Did I see the courier go to top?
I think so.
I just saw?
I believe so.
Wild. Weaver DC'd. Okay. That explains a lot.
I mean, so you're crushing him in the mid lane, like super crushing him in the mid lane.
Pretty typical TA.
Seems good. I would consider stacking your ancient camp to continue accelerating yourself.
Bounties are pretty cool too. Like running at these bounties. I think that's deep.
I'm just talking about during the laning phase. Like shove the wave out, go stack your ancients.
Sure, yeah. I think you could even trap stack it. I don't know what the timing is though. You'd have to watch some TA replays.
Yeah. So you go top, get one of the bounties, get silenced. Hopefully you don't die here because that would be a massive throw. You don't. TP back to the mid lane. Trap. I would definitely trap on their high ground, not just like.
Yeah, but there's a sentry, so you need a sentry.
Yeah.
You always just set out a... Yeah, there you go. Nice, sending out the sentry. Good.
Oh, randomly getting your catapult denied and then killed.
Dude, look how many items. Yo, what's going on with this courier?
Yeah, where is this courier? All right. We suddenly have actually gained all the net worth that we were supposed to have. Deny the sentry.
Gotta use that tango, my dude, for the sentry wards.
Yeah. Instant tango.
It's just instant. Yeah, you shouldn't have to fight with this guy.
All right, Weaver just dies.
Cool. This is a loss, I assume.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Nice. Cool. Regen rune. Nice. Good stuff.
Looks like
I know maybe also puts traps on the enemy caps to see if somebody's farming them.
Right, like
enemy high grounds as well.
Like up here. I mean, yeah. Use more traps. Like you have a bunch. You have 5 traps, and right now you just have 1 down. So just use your traps.
3.
You have 3 traps down.
Mm-hmm.
Is this correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's 1 there. Sorry, math is hard. I don't know where the 3rd one is, but whatever.
Those 2 trap spots are good.
Yeah.
So is the mid lane one. It's fine. Some people even put one behind.
Okay.
Yeah, some people even put one behind the mid tower.
So you can dive.
Somebody, yeah, it's really cool. Really interesting. Traps are so dumb, man. The amount of damage they do for 15 mana. Come on. That's ludicrous.
Also, the free ward that they give you, and the fact that they slow to the point where you're basically stunned trying to run away.
Yeah, TA's a dumb hero. Oh, that's convenient. He disconnected. That's really convenient.
All right.
He Sakuchi'd and then stood completely still, and now you're taking his tower because he's still disconnected.
I would definitely not let this catapult die. If possible. Right? I kind of feel like you need to be playing more aggressively when you're this far ahead on this hero.
Yeah.
Because what you'd like to do is you'd like to just shove the wave and go farm until you have your deso, and just do that over and over. And the best way to shove the wave is to take their tower, because then your wave just pushes. So shove the wave, go farm, get your deso, take their tower as quickly as possible.
Okay, that's when you wish you had that sentry. This mother trucker, man.
Bounty
He's
hunter.
so annoying.
What a hero. All right.
I mean, you just need a sentry, that's all.
Grab a regen, go top. This isn't... I don't know if I like this. That seems like a huge throw to me. I don't feel like there's any reason for you to be top right now.
Yeah, usually people just farm until they get a
Blink deso. Or
the blink deso, yeah.
Yeah.
With the deso even, it's like your rotations are usually on stuff that looks really good, or it's some sort of like defensive rotation, or you get a haste rune.
Yeah.
But I guess that would fall into the category if it looks really good. This hero doesn't really just go and like fish for things. It's not a fishing hero because you farm so quickly you don't need to fish.
Exactly.
And she's not good at fishing. She's not like Kunkka, where you can go and like somebody steps a little too far up, you X torrent them and they might die to you.
Right.
You just hit creeps and you win the game eventually.
Yeah.
I do think like you can hit aggressive creeps and you can farm their camps instead of farming your own camps.
Yeah.
See, this is a good rotation. Doing it with a
haste rune and everybody's low and diving. Yeah, that's the correct rotation that you should make.
Yep. Gonna have full blink from that.
Yeah, it feels...
Damn, how do you lose this? You're level 16.
Well,
this seems impossible to lose. Yo, send that courier out ASAP, dog. Your courier is sitting in base with a blink and a deso on it, and you're still fighting top. Oh, if you die. Oh! Homeboy, you have like 5,000 net worth in base. Stop doing this. Don't do this until you have your 5,000 net worth. Dude, you have less net worth than the Bloodseeker. He's stronger than you with the items that you have right now. Oh my god, you're playing so well other than this. What a throw, man. They all just got a level from that.
Yep.
Dude. They just got a track kill, too, on top of that. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. You lost 200 gold. You gave them all level and a track kill.
Goodness
When
gracious.
you
3 track kills.
You should be killing all of them there.
That was your timing. And you just missed it, not because of
farm, because you just didn't
have
have the items.
you have the farm.
Yeah.
You just don't have the farm literally. You just don't have it in your inventory.
Yeah.
That is the biggest throw. That is the biggest throw in my opinion.
Yeah.
That I've seen so far. Like that's through the whole game. Now they have a 3K lead.
Yeah, I agree. I don't.
Oh boy.
I mean, that's legitimately it. Like, you took a game that was won and then basically threw it away because you didn't send your items out.
Pudge through 2 10x godlike straight dead. Oh, this is wild, man.
All right. What's the MMR? What's the medal?
Okay. Let me think. Let me look at the draft. Is that a Riki offlane? Oh, it's a Riki support. CK offlane. Pudge offlane. Weaver mid. I'm gonna say like middle of the pack. I'm gonna say legend.
You ready?
Sure.
Poopy Pants Boy is Herald 5.
This was a bad idea. This was bad.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, you would be.
I am enjoying this.
Oh my god.
We've actually seen this several times today, though. So, you guys, stop doing this. Like, get your net worth on your hero when you have it, if possible. And if not possible, because your courier's dead, don't take a fight because you're not stronger than the other team because you have half your net worth in base on items that is not currently on your hero.
I should have guessed, man, because
I thought you were gonna get it because you called it so wild, and you're like, Herald is wild, and I was like, oh, he's gonna figure it out.
Sending your. The thing is, I've seen such a plethora of mistakes up until like Divine. I'm actually like, this is helping me categorize what mistakes are made in the different brackets. I've never done that before.
Yeah,
like,
it's good stuff.
I legitimately think that leaving items in base and not spending net worth is like a Herald and Crusader. Or is that the second one? Guardian? Herald and Guardian problem.
Yeah.
Like thinking back, I recall us seeing that in quite a few Herald replays. I've just really never connected that with like Herald. That just seems like a mistake to me. You know, it just seems like any mistake, not a Herald mistake, just a mistake.
Right.
So,
all right.
If you did this for long enough,
you'd like probably get really good.
Speed could legitimately like categorize perfectly what each bracket does wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's really good content to make too.
That's pretty cool. All
right.
Pretty smart.
Shadow Trader. Oh, sorry, you know who that is. Wasn't supposed to tell you, but anyway, Riki, position 4.
I don't know his rank.
Riki, position 4, solo offlane. My offlaner decided to go jungle or something. No idea what was happening. I don't know what I could have done. Well, first of all, don't pick Riki because this hero is terrible. He's so bad. I have been trying to make this hero work for a long time. I have a very good win rate on this hero, and he is so hard to play right now. He just doesn't do anything until you have a Diffusal Blade, and then he still doesn't do anything because he has like 800 health at level 12. This hero is so bad.
I think he's pretty bad. I don't think he's atrocious, but I think he's bad.
I think he's a game-ruining hero to pick in almost every game.
I think he's relatively game-ruining. I would agree with that.
He's almost like techies in the sense where you have to play a completely different video game than Dota 2 to allow your Riki. Like, if you have a Riki on your team, you have to let the Riki play core, period. Because the Riki can only play core, because that's all he does. He doesn't do anything other than kill people. And that's a core thing to do. maybe 4, but I mean 4s become cores, and most of them have the ability to farm, and Riki does not. So I don't know. I think Riki's trash, personally.
I think he's not good.
I played
He's
a game
not
actually
good
of
category.
Riki 4 the other day, and I was 6-0-9 by like 15 minutes into the game, and we still lost because I just couldn't do anything. I got a Diffusal Blade, and then it's like, cool,
Sounds about right.
yay, I have a Diffusal Blade, and then I still die in fights because I get stunned once, and then I'm just dead.
Yep. Sounds about right. Weak hero.
Yeah. All right. Stealing the bounty. Not stealing the bounty. Oh, look, you're going to be at almost no health entering the lane. Cool. So you have
Tommy,
one.
I'm gonna need some screen share going on here. Some screen share action.
All right. Sorry.
How many more do you want to do? By the way, do we make this a 3-hour one or what? What are you down for? We're at about 2 hours now.
Let me see. When does the major start? I really want to watch major. Major starts currently at Liquid versus Alliance. Kind of want to watch that.
Ooh, that's a good match.
Kind of want to watch that for
Dude, I'm
just
not
the
gonna lie.
storyline.
I mean, if it hasn't been obvious, I've been watching all of Alliance's games, so I've been feeding 33 replays, man. I think that guy's so good. He plays like a bunch of really interesting heroes too.
And he plays them in an interesting way as well.
He's something else, man. He's something else. So I'm excited for that.
All right, so game hasn't started yet. We'll do this replay, maybe one more, and then I think we're done.
Okay. Let's go.
Alrighty. So
Circlet A. That's interesting.
That is interesting. Also, Thomas Garcia, his ult with Basher is OP. You can't fight in it. Yes, and you can also just walk out of it immediately or force staff, and then it does nothing.
You can't fight in it. That's correct.
Exactly.
You don't.
It's also maybe
you do this.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of the radius of a Caudal ultimate, and therefore completely useless.
So, never buy a circlet to start. Almost always.
It's just bad.
You can
buy branches.
You have 2 free slots. You could have 3 branches. That's going to give you 1 extra stat. It's going to build into a wand. It's going to give you basically.
And you queue up the wand
tangos.
immediately afterwards. So just why not buy them already? Sorry, continue.
Nature's Prophet is just jungling. Oh my god! All right, this is Herald. This has got to be Herald.
Not even jungling. He's just sitting there with treants waiting for the creeps to spawn, doing nothing in the lane. All right. Quick reaction time. Anyway, back to the Riki.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can't lane against Ogre Void as a Riki. You can't. I guess.
Not without a stout.
Yeah.
You definitely need a stout shield.
I honestly think that you just have to sit here and try and deny the range creeps, and then maybe pull. If the lane pushes, then just pull.
It's hard on Riki though, because he's just permanently invisible. So
yeah, I think if you have level 1 invis, you can get the pull off. I think it's like if you level it up any higher than that, then you can't.
I mean, you can like hit the creeps to like break your invis again.
Right. But yeah, I mean, you literally can't lane. Look at this.
They use the courier top. Enemy teams against a solo Riki, and they use the courier.
They already have a sentry in lane too because they.
Man.
All right, and they push the lane into you, so this is nice. So now you just farm, get these last hits, boy. Get that bread, get that cheddar, get that cheese. Get those levels, boy. Woo!
Almost. Oh, dog. Oh, okay. Good. Thank God. Oh, thank God. I thought that was a base quelling blade. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I mean, getting a quelling blade is good because you're off lane now, so that's cool. Being that you're playing off lane, you should just build off lane items for Riki, which involves, hey, guess what? Diffusal blade, like every other position that you would play Riki in.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go Wraith bans on any offlaner.
Yeah.
Also, whenever you're battling the sentry battle, you don't ever want to just drop the sentry and hope to God that the enemy support doesn't have a tango,
Yeah.
and hope to God that you got the spot right. You need to do it when the lane is pushed in first.
Yeah.
Because
Or
otherwise you're just wasting a sentry and then you send another one out.
or put it in some crazy place like in the middle of these trees, which you can do, and then they won't find it. And that gives you enough time to find theirs.
Yeah, and then you can play to the left of the lane instead of playing to the right of the lane. So if you don't get the D ward, you know that you at least have this area secured.
Yeah. I also don't think that going bracers on Riki is good either, because that just seems bad. I think you should, if you need early stats, like I guess you go
Man,
drums. Right?
honestly, I don't know. I would just say like phase boots into
phase diffusal.
straight diffusal. Just get the blades of alacrity
Yeah.
because like going for wraith bands really seems like a waste on off. You're not going to do anything until you have
diffusal anyway, right?
Diffusal anyway. But you don't have the luxury of going like, I'm going to go 3 wraith bands and then get a diffuse. You're not the carry. You're not going to get that farm priority.
Right.
If you can get a blade of alacrity from like a lucky kill here or there, don't waste it on a wraith band. I would say.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the diffusal is the only important item on this hero for the first 20 minutes.
Maybe what you do if you're stuck playing an offlane Riki is like bracer, Bassi, phase boots, and you play the first like 10 minutes like an offlaner where you're tanky and you're not going to do Riki things, but you didn't want to be an offlane Riki in the first place. You don't have an offlaner. It's probably, I mean, this hero's shit in general, right?
Yeah.
It might even just be better to build like Crimson Guards and stuff on him anyway. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm saying it's probably fine to go for like Bracer, Bassi, phase boots and offer some utility,
right,
and some tankiness for a bit, and then build into the diffusal.
I would almost even consider just going like Earn Wand and like prioritizing the stats that way, honestly, or something like that.
I don't mind Earn. I think Earn sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, like your hero is exclusively revolves around getting kills, so that kind of fits the Earn style of play. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that Wraithband's like your hero. He just can't farm. He doesn't farm. He's like probably the slowest farming hero in the entire game, actually.
He doesn't jungle. That's a big problem.
He can't clear waves.
He sits in lane and slowly clears waves.
And while doing that, completely forfeits the entire purpose of the hero, which is to scare the other team from being in the jungle. It's like, hey, I'm here, guys. You don't have to worry about me. Getting one last hit at a time.
Yeah. Takes him like until the next creep wave comes to clear your creep wave.
Literally.
It's so bad. But once again, our boy wasn't trying to do this, so we're just trying to give him.
Trying to like theory craft how you could play this lane better.
Yeah, hypothetically, but no, I understand. I understand. Shadow Trader did not intend to play Riki in this way.
Yeah,
like being a 4 and just running around scouting and looking for kills is probably the best thing this hero can do,
right,
and should do.
And I guess we could talk about that for a second. Where's the best place to be to do that? Probably bottom, because you have a Grimstroke Juggernaut that you could, silence kill somebody and kill people with. That seems like a pretty good lane to be in. Shutting down the Zeus is also really good. You could go Astral into Cloud, which could definitely dump on the Zeus with Orb of Venom and Equilibrium slow. You could probably get a bunch of kills there too.
Yeah, at this point, you might just want to like let the Nature's Prophet handle top when the lane pushes in, and then just go roam and be useful.
Yep.
Maybe that's the play.
Yep, I agree. But yeah, I mean, this is a tough game. Like you're against a Void Zeus. Like, how do you even play Riki in this game?
You silence them. You go be the one going on them.
Yeah, you can never. You have to be the initiator with your team, and I think one of the best things that you should do in this game is just to kind of go live with the Grimstroke, because he enables your hero to be dangerous, and nobody else really does.
Yep, I agree. I really agree with that. I think that's a good hero to play around. My take on Dota lately has been in it, like looking for heroes specifically to play around, thinking about combos.
Yeah.
I basically had the realization playing with some, been lucky enough to play with some like tier 1 players in party queue, and it just dawned on me that all of them are so focused on like, oh, let's do X plus Y. Oh, let's do this plus this. Like they really play heroes based off of each other, because
Right.
that's how you get these like draft advantages at a high level.
Right.
That's like how they decide where to play the map. It's like, oh, Naga wants to do this, so I have to do this. But then I have this Lina hero. Lina wants to fight, so I'm going to play around Lina. But like that's how they figure out how to. So yeah, I can tell you at a high level, that's how a lot of people figure out how to play Dota. There used to be all of these like formulas, like, oh, you play in the enemy jungle because if you die, it doesn't matter. You take their towers. But then people got really good at defending it, and the game has kind of flipped around where there's not really a static way of playing that people do in every game. It depends so much on heroes and what happens in the game. Dota is this constant flow that's happening where people are moving all around the map in a high level game.
Yeah.
And so basically, if you just think about like who doesn't want you to be in their lane and who wants you to be in their lane on your team, and you play around that, you're never going to have a bad game. Your team might, but you won't.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the concept that we've talked about so many times at this point, which is look at the game. Whose game can you make miserable? Make that game miserable. Whose game can you make better on your team? Make their game better. That's Dota, essentially. It's really about empowering your team to have a better game than the other team, either by making the other team have a bad game through positioning and play, or your team, and preferably both at the same time, because that's efficiency. All right, so what rank is Shadow Trader?
Herald. Hi, Herald.
Pretty close. He is High Crusader, so...
This is hard, man.
It is hard. But, I mean...
At least I'm within a couple of badges.
Alright, I'm gonna dox this guy. GQ, starting in the jungle in Nature's Prophet. Everybody go report this profile.
Dude, 2012? This guy's played since 2012? What? That's longer than I've played. Dude, this guy's playing since 2012, and he's jungling on Nature's Prophet.
He probably plays like 6 games a year, and they're all jungle Nature's Prophet.
He's like, this game is boring.
Yeah. I'm playing this while I queue for League. I play Rengar jungle there.
I don't know what that is.
Renekton jungle.
I don't know any League heroes.
Darius.
I know that one. That's a famous one.
I play Svenskeren.
I don't know that one.
I play Faker jungle.
Are you making names up now? Are these fake?
I'm naming actual players and
not heroes. I play Masturbator jungle.
Yeah. How did I know you were gonna go there?
I'm a Masturbator jungle player, main. That's a League of New Earth hero.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't know it. It's an intellectual game.
Very intellectual.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
All right, one more. I want to watch Major.
Yeah, me too. He's playing Gyrocopter. This is in a captain's mode collegiate Star League game.
I could probably guess who that is. Who was it playing? Collegiate, man. I think we have a couple of like collegiate players.
That's cool. Did I tell you I'm gonna go give a talk at a college?
Yeah. How'd that happen?
There's just an esports team at a college here, and I tried to get in touch with them. There was an article in the local newspaper about it. And I was like, that'd be fun to go talk to their players. They just started their program last year, and just kind of give them sort of opportunity to Q&A somebody who kind of worked their way into esports over the last 4 years. And they never got back to me. And then my car broke down. The new car that I just bought, it wouldn't start. And I was like, I was having such a terrible week because I was like, I just spent a bunch of money on this car. Now it doesn't work. I've got all this stuff to do. I'm having to deal with this car shit. So then I finally got my car towed, and I had to call an Uber to go take me there. And so I Lyft, whatever. So the Lyft shows up. It's a Tesla. I've never ridden in a Tesla before. I was like, ooh, this is going to be fun. So I got to ride in a Tesla for the first time and experience what that was like. And the lady driving it, her son is on the esports team at this university, and we started talking about Twitch and streaming and gaming and stuff like that on the way to pick up my car. And she's like, "Yeah, here, I'll just give you his number, and you can talk to him, and he'll get you in touch with the coach." So I did, and so now in January, I'm gonna go give a talk at a university to a bunch of esports.
Hey guys, Donnie here. Here's how to be shit at Dota.
Doesn't matter.
I can teach you how to be ancient.
Yeah,
4.
I can teach anybody how to be ancient 4.
Have a brain with brain cells that aren't dead.
Buy a BKB. Congratulations, you're ancient.
That comes with the brain cells. Insulting everybody here.
Legitimately, if you're a carry player and you're below ancient, start buying BKB as your second item, and you'll become ancient.
Yep. Dota's pretty easy.
Depending on the level, it certainly can be.
It's so much less complicated than I think people make it. Why would I buy BKB on Nyx? BKB on Nyx is actually a good item.
Hector's buying BKB. Hector's probably the best lifestealer player in the world right now, and he's buying BKB almost every game. So, poop on you, Dylan.
It gives him like permanent magic immunity.
Dylan S. Dylan S. Are you better than 8K Hector? Don't think so.
Hector's not 8K. Hector's like 9K.
Are you better than 9K Hector, Dylan? I don't think so. Are you better than 9.5K Hector, Dylan? No, you're not.
Hector's possibly he's the best carry in South America, and he's possibly the best carry in America, in the Americas, like over Arteezy.
I would
possibly.
I think it kind of depends on the patch. In the current patch, that may very well be true, and I would not be surprised if Beast Coast implodes and breaks up if he gets picked up by like a very high level team.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. He's the heart of that team, man.
Yeah,
he's the soul of that team.
All right,
let's go.
Gyrocopter.
Okay. Can you share your screen?
Nope. Yeah, just interpret what's going on through my reactions.
Okay, go.
Feel free to judge my gameplay, especially last hitting or item build on Gyro. I'm mainly wondering how to deal with Kunkka offlane or other offlane heroes with high kill potential. Do I swap lane with offlane heroes?
No.
Or just head into jungles? Since it was Captain's Draft, some analysis on the mistakes made in draft is also appreciated.
Kill him, man. Kunkka offlane doesn't beat Gyro. Just kill him.
He's a melee hero against a Gyro, and you have Lich Frost Shield, so you should just murder them. I think the way you lose this game is by not playing aggressively and just letting him cleave you over and over.
I don't think Frost Shield is the right spell to start with on Lich. I think that's a mistake. I think what you guys need to do is you just flak the first wave and push the first wave, get level 2 first, and just relentlessly bully them and push pull and just play with the level advantage. If you have a level advantage in this lane, there's absolutely no way they can lane against you. Starting your Q first is definitely a mistake. You haven't done anything with it. If you're going to push the wave, start with flak.
Makes sense.
Like, most people don't start with Q first. They start with either the rocket or they start with flak. And then they go 2 points in Q at level 2 and 3.
Yep, that makes sense. I mean, in these side lanes, and especially against a melee side laner, they're like in the creeps. So rocket is super bad. It doesn't do anything. Unless they're running away from the creep wave, which they're not, because it's the first wave and they have a bunch of regen, and your rocket barrage does 0 damage.
You guys just get level 5 when they're level 4, and you win the game by just running at them.
Yeah.
There's no way that Kunkka can survive your damage.
X into arrow is a little scary, but you have a Lich with Frost Shield, so
that's why you need to play with the level advantage.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are just misplaying the lane. This isn't a laning thing. This is a misplaying the lane thing. So I'm being kind of harsh on you because I know you're playing collegiate and there's actual money on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to give bullshit advice to somebody that's playing at a semi-professional level.
All right. Yeah, you literally just lost the game because you TP'd back to lane and died again. So
yeah, the game is over. Legitimately, the game is lost, and it's from the safe lane. You and Lich need to fix this because if you do this consistently, you're not going to win. Like this is irrecoverable. This is where you would stop watching. Like a pro team would stop watching.
Yeah.
Like the other lanes could watch to see how they need to win the lanes, but that's the only value that's going to come out of it. Especially because like this isn't even a Kunkka Marana favored lane. You guys have way better ability to push lane than they do, and yeah, you need to use that. I would highly suggest watching a bunch of gyro replays and try to identify when people flak the first wave and when people go rocket.
Yeah.
It's like one or the other. The level 1 choice on this hero is incredibly important. I've sat in on discussions where my 8K safe laner is talking to. I quit that team, but when I was on this team, my 8K safe laner would be talking to my 7.5K MMR support, and all they would be talking about was we should have gone flak first. That's it. That's why we lost the game. We should have gone flak. We didn't get a level advantage because we didn't get a level advantage. They had kill threat when they shouldn't.
Right.
And this is the lane that's supposed to win. So we lost.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Lich goes Frost Blast first for better trading. Also to secure the range creep when you flak the first wave.
You just nuke the range creep. You guys just push the wave together.
Yep. You flak the wave, he secures range creep with Frost Blast, and then not only does he have the better ability to trade because he has Frost Blast, but you've also gotten the level advantage because you don't get your range creep denied.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, and then like you said, you just shove the wave and just play aggressively on them. This is, like I said, this is one of those lanes where if you play passively, they're going to pick you apart because that's what they do.
Oh yeah. If you're playing with a creep advantage too, it's really hard for them to do stuff. Like you can see here that because you have like this slight creep advantage, it's hard for them to play. That he evens it up by like arrowing the range creep there.
Yep.
Which is good play. And yeah, like you see, they can't play into you right now,
right?
Because you kind of did. Like the Q is worse at doing this than the flak,
right?
But you kind of did it. And when the creep equilibrium is even, he has a stout shield, so they're okay at like playing against you. See how useless this Lich is though with this spell,
right?
Like it's not doing anything. He should just have Q.
Yeah, because then he can actually trade with Marana, but right now he can't.
So yeah, they probably should have killed you there, but when they get levels, like it's hard to lane here. Like see, you're both level 1, they're both level 2. This is why they won the lane.
Yeah,
they just won an entire wave and were able to push this wave without you doing anything because you had to sit in your tower. And now they have a creep advantage, and you're trying to hit the Marana, so you're going to take a bunch of harass, which leads to you getting killed. And what led to all of this happening was them getting level 2 first. That's it. Like this shit leads to the kill. Watch.
Yeah, it does.
He's low. The dive happens, and because he's low, Kunkka just uses spells on him, and it's a free kill.
Yep. Yeah.
And this all comes from them getting. Look how close this guy's to dying. He actually ends up dying too, but he kills you first, and you TP back to lane and then die.
Die again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the first death shouldn't have happened, like in the first place, in my opinion.
Right. It's almost kind of like a timber saw lane, where if you seize the advantage very early on, meaning literally the first wave or even before the first wave, then you can make him not have a game. You have to kind of treat them like a timber saw, where it's like as the lane goes on, it gets harder and harder because their numbers get higher and higher, and you run out of regen. And so the best way to counter that is to have your numbers get way higher than theirs so much faster, which means that you can push them out of lane before they can push you out of lane.
If you're playing an even lane against a kill lane, you're going to lose.
Exactly.
They're going to kill you.
Exactly.
So you need to kill them before they kill you, which is very easy to do on a broken hero like Gyrocopter because you can just push the lane and be really aggressive on them. And let me tell you, man, a 50% HP Kunkka, he's not going to try to axe arrow you.
Yep.
He's afraid for his own life. But you're the person playing at 50-60% HP because they took the creep advantage. It's all about those HP thresholds. I always tell people like 40%, like 40-50% is when you're within the kill threshold. And then you're okay. Though this is the draft, sure.
Yeah, I want to just go back and look at the draft because he also asked about. I don't think there is any point in looking at any more of that game because it is over. We watched the whole point at which the game was over. So let's go back and just look at the draft a little bit. But continue your thought. The kill thresholds are definitely important to pay attention to.
You flak the first wave, you get a creep advantage. You have one extra creep. They're a little bit lower HP. They never even attempt to kill you because they're afraid.
Right.
That's all that's going to happen there.
All right.
Okay.
Can't see. Okay, so
Lich Gyro, Marana Kunkka.
Yep.
So
I mean, you knew what you were playing against.
no, not necessarily. You know you're playing against Marana.
That's true.
Invoker could be a sup still too.
Right, but this is their draft. So
Warlock, so you could still be playing against. You could still be playing against just a Marana +1.
yep. How do you feel about their bans and stuff like that? Night Soccer, Coddle, Sand King,
Bans
Void.
seem fine. These are broken heroes.
Yep.
These seem fine. Earthshaker. That reveals. That could still be a support. Invoker could be mid. That could be off lane. Invoker could be support. It doesn't reveal much. This seems fine so far.
Mm-hmm. Is Earthshaker good against their heroes? It's okay.
It's fine. I mean, the hero's just good. It's just a good hero.
Yeah. I don't love the fact that you don't. I guess you can use Fissure as your initiation.
I
start fights.
I do have to say I don't really see the synergy between any of your heroes.
That's
really.
kind of what I'm feeling right now.
Like these seem like you're just kind of picking heroes that you think are good that you like.
Right.
Which you want to like do combos. You want to do like Earthshaker Lina for the lane, or maybe Invoker Earthshaker is your combo. You set up Sunstrike. Maybe that's what it is. Well, Quas Exhort Invoker just sucks, so you shouldn't be playing that in general. Unless maybe you have a Void and you're playing off the Cataclysm, but that's a very late timing to play off of.
This seems like a very captain's draft. You have an Invoker player that just asks for Invoker every game. That sort of seems like why you would have an Invoker in this game.
So now you know it's okay. It could still be Klink's mid, Klink's carry, Kunkka off lane, Kunkka mid. You still don't really know. You do see both. You do see two of their cores that you can play off of, though. Two like physical damage cores.
Yeah.
You could still pick like a Winter Wyvern, something like that. They have really good team fight. You have to be really careful about their team fight.
Yep. Then they last pick Lina.
Okay. So
I mean,
yeah, Lina. So that's that's Lina mid because Marana's always played a support. Warlock 5. Yeah, it's Lina mid, Klink's carry.
Yep. Kunkka off lane.
Kunkka off lane. So now you know who you're playing against.
And you can see that they have a pretty fast-paced lineup. So you go Leshrac. How do you feel about the last pick, Leshrac? Safe or off lane Lesh, or what is their duo? It's Earthshaker Lesh,
mid Lesh, or maybe it's an off lane. 4 Lesh is not bad with Earthshaker.
I don't really feel like either Invoker or Lesh is that great with Earthshaker in lane. I kind of feel like Earthshaker, he just like pulls the lane back, right? Isn't that his job, just to pull the lane back and just?
No, you can play. No, people play like you can set up with Fissure.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's definitely not bad.
So who would you give the draft win to in this one?
I mean, both drafts seem fine. Like this WGA team has really good team fight. Washington State has.
Their team fight's okay. It's not bad.
They're fast. They're fast paced. I think if they play with like the Gyro and Lesh running at towers, I think it's pretty good. But you have to be really, really careful fighting into this enemy lineup.
I feel like
if you don't win the lanes, you lose the game. I believe.
I feel like you could definitely abuse their cooldowns, because if they don't have like Warlock ult and they don't have Klink's army, then you can just dumpster them. But if those two are up, then you pretty much can't fight them unless you have like a 20k net worth lead, because that will destroy you. Okay, anyway, I think we'll call it there. We did a bunch of replays. We've got a lot more to go, but remove those from the description because can't do them now. Anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. Go enjoy the major yourselves. Hope you enjoyed us guessing the rank. Oh, what rank do you think he was, by the way?
Who?
The Gyro.
Ancient. Divine.
Give me a star. Ancient's correct. Give me a star. Get this one right.
6.
You can't beat Ancient 6.
Oh,
There's only 5 stars.
Ancient 4.
Pretty close. He was Ancient 2 actually, but
okay.
Nice job, Jenkins. You got better as the day went along.
I was getting closer and closer.
All All right, boys. Have a good one. See you later.